coming out and then the lyrics started playing, like I was legit. I got more hyped. Like I was like, it's like he's going in for Lee Moriarty and Daniel Garcia matches where I'm already like through the roof. Like here we go, and then he comes out and the lyrics start playing, and I'm there for it. Great question. Why'd you wait? Why now? I mean, I'm not. That's not a. That's a fair question. It's not a complaint, and I'm not complaining about it. Thank you, baby. I want that. I want that female vocal in my ears. All right, we are streaming. We're going out. You won't be able to hear yourself. Here we go. Now you can be able to hear yourself, I think. Wait. Female vocal in my ears. There we go. Now you should.
I don't hear me.
Yeah, well, now you'll be able to hear yourself in a second. You're going out. And in like a whole minute, maybe. not a second. Maybe a whole ass minute. You won't be able to hear yourself. Here we go. I can be able to hear yourself. Let me adjust my stuff. Adjust my stuffs.
There you go.
Yeah, I was like, there just give it a second. Give it a second, it'll get there. Okay. You ready to do the show?
Yeah, I was like, it's there. Yeah. I mean, I was born ready. All right. The fact that you go Cesaro, Fujita. No, you didn't put the AEW preview in the title. That's the goods.
Oh, well, hold on. Yeah, you're right. Well,
to be fair, we just decided this.
Yeah.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah, maybe you never know. Maybe Impact Sacrifice will be drawing just as well to AEW Revolution.
You know who likes Sacrifice more than me? Probably
Scott Steiner,
Impact fan ever.
Oh. Let's do the show. Ready?
Did you put AEW thing in? Did you put the AEW thing in?
No, I can't adjust. I can't adjust it now that it's live.
Well, just retweet it, and like.
Well, I'll retweet it when we start the show, and I'll do all my stuff.
Tweet and be like, it's actually AEW. All right, cool. I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
I won't hear the music, but I'm ready.
Okay, ready. 3, 2. Oh, let me record. Start recording. And 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ring Post Radio, the only show that wakes up Sunday morning, a beautiful rainy Sunday morning here in Atlanta, Georgia, and talks about the hits from the past week of wrestling and the future of wrestling for next week. Everything that's happening around the globe. Lots of news to get to. I am Ryan Knightsey. With me, as always, is the one and only Scotty Edwards, Scotty E at the horn. On the facts, on the sacks. Scotty, how's it going?
I'm tired. I'm here. I'm present. I'm off today from work. I've been working remote for the past couple days because get some late night games on the West Coast. So yeah, you could say I wasn't done working the past 2 days until 1:30 a.m. It's fine though. I'm here. I watched a lot of Kenny Omega matches from New Japan yesterday. I'm feeling good. Watched him versus Tetsuya Naito from the 2016 G1. Might be my favorite New Japan match of all time. So that was cool. You know, watching good wrestling can often bring up the mood, bring up the word that I can't think of. I'm not going to sit here and try to think about it because I don't want to do that. I don't want to waste our time. But I'm feeling good. We're going to talk a lot of wrestling today, whether it be free agent news, signing news, reviews,
predictions.
predictions, a lot of predictions. We got some big predictions. We got
roughly 48 predictions, if I'm not mistaken.
Little New Japan Cup predictions and a little preview for AEW Revolution. So it should be a great show, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, no, very excited about the show today. A lot of stuff to get to for sure.
A lot of good stuff to get to, which isn't always a guarantee.
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be a good show. I feel the energy.
There it goes.
Oh fuck! Dang it! It's once you acknowledge it, that's when it gets all over, baby. It's all over.
Well, that's not true. When I acknowledge Roman Reigns, he seems to only get
stronger,
better. Yeah, he gets stronger every time I acknowledge Roman Reigns. I sit at my, I sit in front of my TV and I go, I acknowledge you. It works every time. His days as world champion get longer and longer. Do you know this week recently he became the 5th longest reigning world champion in WWE history? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's all the WWE talk for today. So congrats, everybody.
There we go. Well, I guess there's tangential WWE talk. Let's get to our news items. Big news item for this week as well. And contract news. Cesaro was unable to reach a new contract with WWE, and because of that, he is no longer with the company. He's currently a free agent as of right now. Reports say that he wasn't planning on leaving, but he just wanted a good contract deal. He didn't get it. I'm not surprised he didn't get it. No dunk on him. I think it's just more so how WWE views him and probably how he views his own value. And I think, with contract negotiations, that's pretty much what the whole situation is, how the company views you versus how you view yourself. So the company doesn't view him as well as he views himself. So he's like, you know what, I'm going to walk then. And they're like, all right, more money for Pat McAfee to wrestle Vince McMahon. So yeah, Cesaro is currently a free agent.
Big. I'd say that's pretty big because if you look at all the wrestlers over the years that people have wanted to see outside of WWE, he's definitely up there, right? Like he's definitely one of the top names, if not the top, that people wanted to see, show how great he is in other places. And now, assuming he doesn't, go back, there's a real shot that we get to see Cesaro shine. And it's exciting. Sorry, we can call him Claudio if that makes everybody feel better. But it's exciting because he was someone that was able to kind of still have a great style while in WWE. He didn't fully go to their style. And I think he screams a guy to me that, you know what, he'll probably go to AEW if they want him, but he's someone that screams he goes on this, fantastic Japan run. That's what he screams to me. He screams a great G1 climax later this year. He screams a 4.5-star match against Tomohiro Ishii, a potential 5-star match against Shingo Takagi. That's what I think when I think of Cesaro out of WWE. I don't think, oh, you know what, he's going to be cool. He'll have a few good wrestling matches on Dynamite. No. I think this guy's going to go to Japan, specifically New Japan, and he's going to put on a show. And I think that's what I want the most. I think that's what we will eventually get. But I definitely do think that the AEW part is certainly possible, seeing that Cesaro is he's been a hot commodity, even if WWE hasn't used him in that sense.
Yeah, if I was it's one of those signings that's just like, he's a guy that works hard. He's a guy that has a great look. Can wrestle great. To me, he's like another one of those no-brainer signings, like a Keith Lee, like a Swerve. You pick him up, and obviously you pick him up. There's no reason why you wouldn't.
I can give you a reason.
And also, if he wants more money, that's probably the only other place he can go. To be fair,
do you want a reason?
Sure.
They don't need him.
That is
right now. They don't.
Well, yeah. I saw someone mention that Cesaro in AEW is going to make you realize how tall Cesaro is.
That's true.
He's basically as big as Jake Hager, and that is going to blow people's minds and will also shrink your like entire roster, which is not a
tall one.
It's not a good thing to do. So that's the other thing, is that if he's going to come in as an AEW, his really only place is like a heater kind of person. It's not his only place. I think he can be world title person if he wanted to be, if they wanted to be. But that height and everything and that roster, it's going to look weird. A heater would be the best role. I would love to see him, turn this thing into, instead of Jon Moxley and Danielson, it's Cesaro and Danielson. I think that could be solid, fun.
You want me to spice you up a little bit?
Sure.
Shingo Takagi wins the never openweight title from Evil,
and
then at Dominion, you do Shingo Takagi versus a debuting Claudio.
Yeah, I said, you know what? Here, I'll spice you up. I'll spice you up even more.
Let's do it.
Master Wato is making his entrance on New Japan Cup after his bye, but is unable to get to the ring because the Swiss Cyborg intercepts and takes him out and faces Kazuchi Okada in round 2 of the New Japan Cup.
Right off the rip.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
I was about to attack you.
Fly him to Japan. Put him in the cup. Who cares?
I was gonna be funny and be like, dude, you could have picked any other wrestler to just absolutely railroad someone, and you were just like, Master Wato needs it. And I was like, why? I was like, oh wait, he faced Okada.
Yeah, because Master Wato in his first match will be probably against Okada. So yeah, we're gonna take him out. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he like bounces around, but based on everything that like they say about Cesaro, about being, he's the guy that has that quote of like, why should we complain? WWE is a parody of sports, of wrestling. Who cares? We're getting paid good money and all this stuff. So I think he's sort of like settled into not necessarily being a wrestler's wrestler. I don't know. I would love to be proven wrong. But I think the guy's like happy. He was happy in his role. It appears he just wanted
Happy Corbin.
Yeah, like Happy Corbin. That's what we needed. Cesaro needed some sort of Madcap Moss type, and maybe he would still have a job. I think he's usually going to get picked up. I think you bring him in. If you're bringing him in AEW, I fear that he will be too big and he'll be just a heater kind of guy, like a Wardlow, like a Hager, like a Hobbs maybe, but also all of those matches would be great, so I don't care. Is there any other spot in America do you think he can be good in? If for whatever reason, AEW
rebuilt Ring of Honor potentially, a little Johnny Gresham versus Claudio action for the Ring of Honor World title. Maybe that's where he makes his first appearance. It's Super Card of Honor. That's a potential spot. I guess New Japan Strong would make a lot of sense. That would maybe at that Chicago show. That's where you debut him. That would be pretty big time.
The US of J challenge.
Do a US of J challenge on the Chicago show, and Claudio is the first one to beat him. I think that would work. Not Impact, because I would never send Cesaro there. Because I like him.
You say that, but I feel like this revamped W Morrissey versus Claudio would be kind of good, actually.
It would, and
I would enjoy that actually.
If they ever wanted to push one of their good wrestlers, a Mike Bailey versus Cesaro, that would probably slap a little bit. There's a lot of good matchups for Cesaro out there.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the exciting part of all this, which, it can be exciting, especially because he wasn't released. So this time I don't have to feel bad that he lost his job. He just did resign. So I can actually jump for joy about potential matches. So that's cool.
Yeah. He'll find a home no matter what.
He answers the TNT Championship Open Challenge and murks Sammy Guevara.
He challenges Matt Cardona for the NWA World's Heavyweight title.
Why do I feel like that's more likely than like half of the things we've said?
He decides that he has to control his narrative.
Oh! Don't do that to him.
Just like Big Damo.
No, I think he's okay. Well, that was the more shocking one because the rest of them, they had the baggage. Not him though. So.
Yeah. Other news. Well, other contract news for AEW is Brian Cage. His contract got re-upped. Was it re-upped or was just extend the?
It was. They accepted the option on it.
Yes. So he is sticking around,
unlike they did with Cody.
Well, I should be clear. It's not that he's sticking around. It's that he had this contract, and I believe TK had the options to decide whether or not to pick up. TK picked him up, so presumably he has an idea for Brian Cage now.
He did not pick up Cody's. Just to remind everyone that he picked up the guy that he wasn't using on TV for the past 5 months, but he picked up the but he didn't pick up the EVPs.
Yeah.
So
there's
that.
Yeah, I don't know if this is maybe a petty move from TK, but I wouldn't be surprised. Another news is that Buddy Matthews has come into AEW, new member of the House of Black. I'm excited to see Buddy Matthews. I think he's pretty good.
What a weird signing. Because listen, I like Buddy Matthews. I probably like Buddy Matthews more than a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no idea what he adds to AEW that, they didn't need him. I understand Malachi probably pitched for him to be in the House of Black, and that's probably why he's here. But I don't know. And he got a great reaction. I wanna put that out there. He got a fantastic reaction, and he's someone that I think could fit into the TNT title picture for a couple of years, and maybe win the strap once. Who knows? The TNT title is weird when it comes to booking. I really think anyone could win that.
Yeah.
So it's cool because he's gonna wrestle some cool matches, and that's gonna be a great trio. If they ever bring trios titles to the damn company. So
I think
good for him.
What he brings is he is a name that will draw more eyes to this company, which can bring in more money. I mean,
I guess
he's I don't fully believe in this, but like my best comparison, and he is a Pac Light that lives in America. So and he's more available.
And unfortunately for him, the joke is that he is a Kenny Omega light. So
yeah, so there's a
lot of the same moves.
Well, you need some sort of Kenny Omega like guy when Kenny Omega's out. So we'll bring in Buddy Matthews. Why not?
I miss Kenny Omega a lot.
Me too.
Yeah.
The other big news that we had from the past week was Fujita winning the GHC heavyweight title. He is now kind of in a way triple crowned himself by winning the GHC title, of course, winning the IWGP title, of course, and what was that last title he won? Was it All Japan's title?
Did he win the Triple Crown title? Which is All Japan's?
No, I think I'm the IGF championship, the Inoki Genome Federation, maybe. Basically, he's won 3 world championships in different promotions.
Yeah, that did happen. Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so let me give you some background of how I learned about this. So I'm sitting there on early Wednesday morning, probably like 3-4 a.m. having my time, watching Cinderella Journey, having a great time,
drinking some tea, just enjoying.
I wasn't drinking tea. I was probably drinking like water, but yeah, sure. For the story, I'll say I was drinking tea. I was having a great time. We're in the heat of the great matches on this show.
He's in the heat of the moment.
And I look at my phone and I'm like, oh, I forgot the no show was going on. By the way, I was told that top to bottom was probably the worst no show of the year. But
Can't agree. It
but
wasn't awful, but it wasn't like Noah.
Yeah, it wasn't as good. Well, they've had a lot of good shows this year, so that also plays to it. But either way, I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and watch. And I was like, oh, did Nakajima win yet? Still looking for that one. He has not won yet, because they just they cut the legs out from under him. Yeah, the Kazuyuki over here. He is now the GHC World Champion.
Mm-hmm.
They said, okay, that's enough of having a younger guy hold the title. We must get back to the old boys. And I'm pretty upset about it. I'm not going to lie to you, Ryan. I'm not happy about it. That's for sure. Because Nakajima was my guy. And yeah. And, with all the, rumors going around about why this came to be, doesn't make it much better. If anything, it makes it worse.
It's just the emblematic problem with Noah right now is that it is infested with these older guys that won't put over younger talent.
The only good thing I'll say about Fujita is he still can go.
Yeah.
Unlike the other one.
I mean, yes. Can he go like a 30-year-old Kano or something? No. Has he ever been like the best wrestler ever? No. But compared to
really hard.
Compared to Muto, I will take Fujita any day of the week.
Right.
Fujita can at least move a little bit better than Muto, who is playing to come back. He was playing a comeback after a hip injury. Jesus. I thought, what did you think of the match itself?
Hard hitting. What Nakajima ruptured an eardrum.
Yeah.
So I think that tells you all you need to know about the match. I thought it was a pretty good match. That's the whole.
Me too.
That was probably my most upsetting part. I was like, shit, it was good.
It's pretty good. I was like, all right. I mean, because I watched, I think, like the majority of the show, basically from the Tanaka match all the way down, which I think was the third or fourth match. Yeah. And it was like the better half. It was like pretty good. That was a pretty good match.
That was the funny thing, though. I was like, once it was over, I was like, oh shit, that was pretty good. I'm not happy about it, but that was pretty good. And I'm kind of upset because I thought the whole story they were going with was Nakajima was either going to lose to Kano or Shiozaki.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just. I have no idea what's happening. I have no idea who he's going to lose to. I mean, I don't know if you know the story, but supposedly he didn't want to lose to Kano when he challenged for the GHC national title, which means he won the title, and then he lost it in his first defense to Takashi Sugiura.
Yeah.
So, which, I mean, if this is how we get another Takashi Sugiura title reign, I'm not going to say no. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, he's not going to lose to Kano, right? That's not happening.
Nope.
He's not going to.
He's not going to lose to Nakajima, obviously.
Right. Maybe Shiozaki, but you have to build him up again.
Yeah, he just lost 4 straight matches to top name guys, so he's out. He's logically booking wise.
Yeah, Masato Tanaka is not going to win it. Who's his first challenger?
But do you think he's not going to win it? But do you think that's someone that Fujita would let win?
Yeah, because he's
old,
the same age as him. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know how Mr. Fujita works. So he's an odd looking feller. He's kind of goofy, but I'm looking at the Noah roster right now. It's like Sugiura, again, which I mean, again, I'm not going to complain. Segura, I think, is the best of all the people over the age of 50.
Yes, I
maybe
100% agree. 100%
maybe
agree.
in professional wrestling, probably in professional wrestling, because people that go over the age of 50 aren't usually good anymore. No offense, but it's true.
Yeah.
But he's very good. So if it's him, I'm not going to be upset. But
I think Marufuji would be another guy that he would beat, or he could be beaten by.
I don't want that.
Because it's the same thing that happened with Muto, is that we just had Marufuji do it.
And then you have Cyber Fight Festival coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And no offense, but is Fujita really the guy you want on top for Noah at that time?
Well, according to that report you were talking about, the VOW report, is that yes, is that apparently Noah believes that, I mean, I think it's they're not wrong in thinking that these legend type guys of Muto will bring in people. He certainly did, but the longer the reign went on, the longer it didn't work. Fujita, I think, is also like a name that can bring in people, but I also don't think it's like the name that will bring in people.
I just don't see him being.
It's a lot of band-aids. It's just a lot of band-aids, and no one wants to fix anything.
By the way, to all the people that thought Kaito Kiyomiya was going to beat Nakajima, that ain't happening anytime soon. There is not a shot Fujita loses to him. So, good one. They are. It's a big time, one step forward, two steps back situation here for Noah.
Do you think they'll try to have Fujita hold the title long enough for Muto to return?
I'm terrified that the answer is yes.
And when will that be? Next millennia? Like what?
I don't know. He lost a hip. He needs to get a new freaking hip, and he's already 60 years old. Like this is the one problem I have with Noah, and I really like Noah. I have to be be honest with that. Since starting to watch it last year, Noah has been one of my favorite promotions to watch. But man, what was the point of all? You're just hurting yourself.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's just like it's not what you should be doing. On the same breath, though, I'm getting into Noah, and I knew this was part of Noah. This might be a hot take, I guess, but I'm just like, I kind of just don't care about Fujita winning, because it is like, well, I knew what I was getting into by liking this promotion. Yeah, I got into this promotion when I think we just did this on the match race. I don't think we talked about the show at all. The freaking Kano match versus Muto, the fire kick spot, and then he loses. It's like, I still ended up watching Noah, so it's just like, I guess this stuff is bringing fans in, if you count me as one. It did not
bring me in. Thanks for asking.
But the show stunk. The rest of the show stunk. Every match was way too long. This match was pretty good, pretty hard hitting. Did a good. Nakajima, I think, looked good in defeat, except the ending, except the main event where he's just got. Well, I don't know. People were upset because it got like powerbombed twice and then powerbombed a third time, and I was like, well, I mean, is it a burial? I guess it is. I don't know. I just don't really care, because it's like, well, I'm still gonna watch Noah. This isn't gonna deter me from it, because as a new viewer of Noah, I knew what I was getting into.
As someone that I guess doesn't really fully care about the booking, and when I'm watching Noah, I mostly just care about like really good matches.
Yeah.
Not the worst person to lose the title to, because he's going to have some really good matches probably with the old dudes that just are really, insane in terms of like, oh my God, they just beat the, living bleep out of each other. That was great. Like him and Segura last year was great, because they just hit each other really hard for 20 minutes. So if you look at it that way, it's not that bad. I guess that's probably how I should look at it now, because it's not like I was, watching Noah for booking. I was watching Noah for good matches.
And I think that's my ultimate.
I just like Nakajima. He's my favorite. So I'm like, oh man,
I'm a Kano man myself.
Well, he's not getting the title anytime soon.
No, he's not. No, I think you said it. I think that's ultimately what Noah is to me, because I was kind of also trying to think about like why I don't really care, and I think ultimately that's what Noah is to me. I look for my booking in New Japan. I look for like my insane, which is weird to say right now, especially, but I look for booking in New Japan and like match quality in Noah. And if I like see good matches in Noah, I'm happy. I don't really much care about the booking, about what's happening. But if it's, I care about the match quality, I care about the booking, in New Japan. And Noah, I'm still learning everything, so I'm just sort of like, all right, this is what's happening. Am I happy about Fujita winning and not Nakajima retaining and doing maybe the Kano match again or Kaito Kiyomiya getting in there? Yeah, I would prefer that, but it is what it is. This isn't like this isn't even the number 3 promotion in Japan, so who cares?
Maybe 4.
Yeah, maybe 4. Definitely. I mean, they're definitely above All Japan. It's New Japan, Dragon Gate, Stardom. I mean, if we just take out Stardom for the just look at men's promotions, they're probably number.
Stardom's going to take over the world, so can't do it. It's either Noah or DDT.
Yeah, which they're all in the same family,
right?
So yeah, it's they're number 3. They're either number 3, 4, or 5 in Japan. So. Who cares? I
care, damn it.
And that's not to say if you care, you go for it. I'm just saying that I'm a new fan.
I knew versus Shingo.
I knew what this company was going into it, and I just want to see good matches out of this company right now.
Don't worry, I probably won't care like I wasn't caring until you brought it up again. So
let's
forget it.
Let's talk about something we do care about. And that is Stardom. Cinderella journey.
I can guarantee to you I do care about Stardom. Yes.
Yeah, I know for a fact that this man
major promotion.
This man Scotty, it has a whole brand new show coming to count out.
I do. I have a lot of Stardom content. I sat back the other day. I was like, wow. I talk about this a lot. This is going to be the 5th time I talk about Starlight Kid versus Zumi. This week.
God.
In some form. Whether it be writing or talking.
Well, I pull up the card here. Do you want to talk about your upcoming show and maybe if you want to announce the date? I didn't talk about it talking to you beforehand, but if you'd like to, if it's ready. I don't know if it's ready yet.
I'm not going to announce the date yet because I got too busy to.
You're too busy watching Omega G1.
That's
matches.
on me. Okay, that's on me. I kind of forgot that I had to do this, so that's on me. I have the whole plan. I just have to watch and then talk. So, but yes, Pod of Stardom coming to count out. Very exciting. It's going to look into the history of Stardom. It's going to bounce around. I think that's something that I've been asked about a little bit. Am I going to go in order? Am I going to bounce around? I'm going to bounce around because I think that's a better way of kind of exploring for newer fans, is that, you kind of have this ability to check things out through its time. I mean, am I going to go from its first ever show to 2018? Probably not. But Stardom has a very rich history that I think a lot of people don't know about. The freedom of Mayu Iwatani, Io Shirai, and Kairi.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say the last name anymore, even though I have been wrong with Kairi Swoljo as of late, because I think it's a great name. But that trio, I think alone will carry a lot of the show. We're going to talk, some episodes might just be one match where we review and discuss a big match in Stardom history. Some will be shows. The difficulty of it always being full shows, though, is that Stardom doesn't have all their shows up on Stardom World, because when they switched over the server, they lost everything. So they have to re-upload it all, and they haven't got back to that clearly. So that's why we're going to jump around. It's not going to be perfect, but I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about the history of Stardom. I'm sure to have guests, and hopefully everyone joins because Stardom, Stardom's one of the biggest promotions in the world right now in terms of popularity. It's only going up. So I think it's best that people know more about how they got there and who was there before it became, this, I'm not going to say powerhouse, but it is one of the hottest promotions in the world for a reason. And, with March coming up, it could be their biggest pay-per-view ever. So I think it's a good time to do that. I expect it first week in March. I think that's
the goal. Yeah, no, Count Out listeners have been clamoring for Stardom content, and what better way than go to the king of Stardom himself, Scotty Edwards. Scotty, what's the I think we can announce this though. What is the first show about for Pod of Stardom?
Oh, yes. So it is actually going to be a slight mix because I've been doing the research, I've been talking to some people, and I'm going to actually review the show that made Stardom happen, which was the Yuzuki Akawa. Jesus.
He'll figure out the pronunciation before.
Yeah, the produce show. So there was a produce show that she did that was pretty much like the birth child of Stardom.
Mm-hmm.
It's the unofficial birth child. So we're gonna go with that. I believe the main event is Aikawa versus Nanae Takahashi.
All right.
So that's a pretty big one. And then we'll talk the first Stardom show ever, which that makes perfect sense to start us off. We're gonna combine them because the only thing from that produce show is the main event. So we're going to put them together and be like, here's how we got from step 1 to step 2. Rossi starting it up and having his ace right off the bat. So it should be fun.
Oh yeah. No, I'm very excited to listen to Pod of Stardom coming to Count Out Network soon. So stay tuned, folks. Sometime this week. Is this the first week of March? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I should have
it
up this week.
Yeah, I'll be up this week. It's all we'll figure out. You'll follow Count Out on Twitter at Count Out Pod.
I always forget the February shorts. So
yeah, I'm sure that
it'll be up. It'll be up probably first weekend or it'll be done. And then it's up to Ryan for when he puts it out. So
yeah. Anyways, so let's get to Stardom Cinderella Journey in Nagoya.
Nagoka. Don't worry. See, it's okay. See, I messed up a word that I knew the answer to. So it's okay. It goes back and forth.
Really very good show. Honestly, top down, very good show. We'll start off here with the main event and go backwards because I think
first 3 matches, though, by the way, I just want to put this out there, had me questioning my sanity of why I was awake. I'm not going to lie to you. Thank God they picked it up.
Yeah, they picked up the pace very quickly. Let's start with the main event here. The Wonder of Stardom title match between Saya Kamitani and Natsupoi. Saya Kamitani, of course, winning and retaining the title in 21 minutes and 55 seconds.
Sheesh. Listen, I don't think this is the best match on the card, which is saying something because it's a great match.
No,
it's a great match.
Yeah.
A lot of people do like it. It's a lot. It's very 50-50 on what a lot of people think is the best match on the card. According to Dave Meltzer, it's not 50-50. It's the exact same. So
why flip a coin when it could just be the coin?
It's true, but man, let me just say, shout out to Natsupoi.
Yeah.
She is getting put in all these big spots. Well, not all these big spots, but every time she is put into a big spot, she delivers every single time. She is incredible. I was talking to Alex this week, and last week I think on his podcast, his co-host asked him, "Who's your favorite wrestler in Stardom right now?" And he did not have an answer. He was like, "I never really thought about it." After the show, he's like, "Oh, it's clearly Natsupoi, just because she is so consistent and so great in everything she does." So shout out to her. And I mean, what is there to say about Saya Kamitani that we haven't said, right?
Mm-hmm.
She steps up to the plate every opportunity she gets. This is her first pay-per-view main event, and she knocks it out of the park. I think this was, it's clearly her best defense to date. I mean, she only has 2, but I thought this was so much better. And a lot of people like the Unagi match, but I thought this was so much better than that match. I thought these two They just clicked. They just clicked and made it. They added drama. They added some tension. They added some story to a match that didn't necessarily have that, tension going into it, because it was just like, I'm going to challenge you. Good challenge. They made me believe that, Natsupoi might win. I think the Fairy Blink mid-match where she gets that roll up was one of the best. I was convinced Natsupoi won. I don't even know if Saya kicked out in time, truthfully. It was so close, but it was so good. I love this match. It was great. I'd love to hear your thoughts, because I've heard my thoughts plenty.
Yeah, no, this was a great match. Easily top, maybe not obvious, but easily top 3 match on the show. Very great match. I think this match was to me, this was a big like teaser for like the Stardom main event picture in like a year from now, if not 2 years from now. Like, I think this is like, Saya Kamatani having this main event spot on the smaller show is a good like teaser to be like, hey, I think she can eventually be a World of Stardom holder. And I think she proved herself to be able to handle the spotlight, and I think she's only getting better. Natsupoi, outstanding, probably the best Natsupoi match I've ever seen, and I haven't seen a lot.
It's the best I've seen.
She was just great in this match. Saya, of course, the phenomenal. I was gonna say Falconero. That's not correct. What's her move called?
Phoenix Splash.
Phoenix Splash. That's the other bird. Another phenomenal Phoenix Splash. Just every single time nails it. That, like you said, that Fairy Blink spot was great.
When she killed Unagi, but yeah.
Wow, yeah. In here, it was great. Definitely better than the Unagi match, which it was pretty good, but this one was just outstanding. Just a great match altogether. I'm interested to see where Natsupoi go from here. I can see her easily going back to the high speed title area, but I think this is a nice little defense. And just so good. Natsupoi is just so good. Saya is just so good. Stardom has so many people that are just ready. Like it's like it is like New Japan a couple years ago, where it's just they had so many people who were boiling that they had on a boil ready to go, and at any point they can heat up. They're firing on all cylinders. Stardom is.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to look at this is this show was considered a B show, right? It wasn't going into it. It wasn't a pay-per-view that a lot of people were necessarily hyped out about, especially with Stardom World Climax. In a month, like that's where all the care is going.
Yeah.
Yet somehow, some way, they delivered, and they delivered with Utami, Mayu Iwatani, Tam Nakano, Shuri, and Julia all in non-title matches.
Yeah,
they delivered. So that if that doesn't give you hope into what Stardom's going to bring in the future, let alone now, I don't know what else does, because like this semi-main event is the future of Stardom.
Well, let's talk about the semi-main high-speed title match. Azumi defeating Starlight Kid to win the high-speed title in 17 minutes and 3 seconds. Holy crap, this match.
It's fantastic. I was having a conversation with people. It wasn't Mayu Julia for me.
No, neither for me.
But it was different. It was different from that. It was high speed, so that helps. But
the opening sequence to this match.
I mean, Mayu Julia's different match. I have it ranked just a little higher, but this is fantastic. And considering where these two are in their career, I think it's more impressive just what they were able to do.
Yeah.
Like Ryan said, they had an amazing opening high speed sequence where, as someone that had to take notes,
good luck.
I just wrote nothing. I just said I just was like, okay, well, I can remember that they did a lot of high speed stuff that I was just like, oh, okay. And I think, what was my favorite part of this match? From the opening bell, they made you think this could end at any moment.
Yeah.
So pretty much any moment that we got afterwards, I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
One of my favorite spots in the match, maybe my favorite, was when Azumi launched herself, so Starlight Kid's outside of the ring with a Oedo tie, behind the ring post on the outside.
Ring post
and
radio.
Azumi goes in the other corner, and this is kind of like the Kota Ibushi thing where he runs, jumps, and does the moonsault.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what she did. No. She launched off one rope, launched onto the top, and then just sent herself with a diving crossbody. I was like, that was so clean. Like, that was the best part. She didn't slip, nothing. She perfectly did it. It was incredible.
Because she did that spot of the double bounce springboard thing, like as a dodge reversal thing earlier in the match, and this time she uses it the same exact thing to do a diving crossbody over the ring post radio.
Yes. Yes, and it was amazing. And I want to give credit to Starlight Kid too. I thought she had a great showing as well.
I was going to say that this, you talk about your B show, you talk about your B shows, you talk about this, that. These two matches, the semi-main, the main, were I'm not a huge I'm not a huge Stardom watcher. I'm starting to get into it more and more with the help of Scotty, and maybe he can agree to this, but I think this was probably the best matches I've ever seen from these four women. Every single one of them on this show out of nowhere. It's the best match I've ever seen from all of them. Azumi, for me, doesn't hit all the time, but here she hit perfectly. Starlight Kid, we've been talking about it since the turn, talking about it since 5-Star Grand Prix last summer. She's got it. She's figured out the gimmick. She's now got the move set to boot. Everything about what she's doing is perfect. Saya Kamatani is rolling into that sort of new ace role. Natsupoi, just kind of surprising to me, but also not a surprise.
High-speed wrestlers.
Yeah, just outstanding work from all four of these women. Starlight Kid, I want to bring up hats to her, or mask off to her. She's oh my God, dude. She's figured it out. We talked about it when she turned, okay, she's doing the Grand Prix to figure it out and all this stuff. She's got it. Yeah. Run with it. With it. She is easily, this is the match where she is out of the high speed area. I would love to see her take the title off of Saya. I think that would be a great match and be well deserving.
Yeah, that's the thing I think about this match, is that going into it, we talked about it last week. I said this should be the match where Starlight Kid, kind of graduates from the high speed division and goes into those, world title classes of Wonder and World.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what she did. And it's just incredible what she's done in less than a year to transform herself from this underdog babyface into this, I don't want to say megastar, but she is, if you look at the Stardom roster, you got your Utamis, who's just kind of bigger than everyone when you just see her whole entire.
She's got a presence. There's a presence.
But there's something about Starlight Kid since becoming this new character where
there's confidence.
Yeah. The closer we get, right, is the closer she's getting to that top spot. And
she's never been more confident, never been more charismatic to me than now.
And they've given her everything perfect. She's got the theme song, she's got the entrance, she's got the millions of masks hanging from her jacket, which is just badass looking. Mm-hmm. She's got the attire
itself.
That's true. That's so true. And she is the complete package right now. Mm-hmm. And she's ready for that next step. I think this match proved that. Another great point in this match before, we get to the finish, which I know Ryan's very excited to talk about, is the Avalanche Spanish Fly, which she beat Azumi with last pay-per-view. So when she hit that, I was like, oh my God, here we go again. And then Azumi out of nowhere puts it into a Fujiwara armbar. And I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing? This is incredible.
She took the spot and not really reversed it, but was able to turn it into something.
It was like a last
ditch effort
to just survive. And you know what, Ryan, I usually lead this, but I'm gonna let you talk about the final submission because I think that's just
oh my God. I slacked you when I was watching this match that I was just like, hey, what is this finish? What is this submission that she's doing? And you're like, oh, that's the numero uno. And I was like, has she done that before? And you're like, she's done it before, but this is the best yet. 100%. Starlight Kid sold it like death. It looked great. It was like
death.
Death, Fukigen death. That numero uno looked so good. It looked so painful. Starlight Kid sold it like Fukigen death. It became memorable to me. If she's done it before, like I spoke about it, like Azumi never really quite hit me every single time. If she's done it before, I never really like acknowledged it or noticed it.
She just added it recently.
Well, then great, keep it. It's great. Yeah. It's a great finish. It looks awful to take. And like I said, Starlight Kid was like the perfect person to sell it too. My God, it was just so good. That numero uno for the finish was just so good. And not only that, but it's like a tap out win. You beat Starlight Kid by tapping her out. And then of course you have that post match where Starlight Kid wants to do the whole mask thing. But then Azumi's like, no, fist bump. There's respect here. God, just so good.
They are.
Oh my God, that submission's so good.
They are generational rivals. They are literally born to feud forever. And they've already had many matches, but this was far and away their best so far. And the scary part is, 1 or 2 years down the line when they're main eventing a pay-per-view, they could have an even better one. I
think they do have a better match in them. By the way,
that's the scariest part, right? Because they're, Starlight Kid's 20 years old and Azumi is 19. Like they aren't complete wrestlers yet. They are still figuring some things out, but they're this good already. And the best way to describe this match is that they combined high speed with the Stardom main event style.
Mm-hmm.
And it just perfectly meshed. It was such a great match. I think it's the match that if anyone that wants to get into Stardom needs to see a match, I think this might be the easiest to put them onto.
The best comparison I can do for it, and I don't think it's the best comparison because this match I think was better and way less controversial for whatever reason. The best way I compare it to is like the Ricochet Will Ospreay match. You know what I'm talking about? Like that match,
controversial.
Yeah, a lot less controversial. Got Randy Orton tweeting about Azumi.
That'd be great.
Too many flips. Starlight. Shut up, Randall. No, but like this is the match that they've been doing great work all this time, but this is the match that establishes them more on the scene. I think this is the match that you go out and watch, and it's the thing that's like constant action, constant high-speed action, great work, just outstanding storytelling. Just, like I said, I think it's still better, but it's that match that's like, it's a standout match, stands out above the rest, and you're going to watch it and be like, oh, that was great. That was really good. Yeah. But this was even better than that Ospreay Ricochet match, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's a match I'll go back and watch for sure, 2 years down the line, I'll be like, I remember that match. Like, especially when they're, contending for the top titles, I'll be like, I'll go back and watch this and be like, where were we when they were killing it? But I think Starlight Kid's ready. I think she should win the Cinderella tournament, and I think she should face Saya Kamatani for that Wonder of Stardom championship. By the way, I just remembered after Saya's win, she challenged Utami Hayashishita and Tam Nakano to title matches at Stardom World Climax because she said, I can do anything. And she challenged the two top champions from last year to back-to-back matches. That should be tremendous.
What
Even
order?
though I would not have done the Tam match. Tam second. She's facing Utami first.
Utami's going to win that, right?
This is my take. There is no chance Shuri and Saya Kamatani walk out of Stardom World Climax both champion.
Really?
That is my take. I don't think they're both doing back-to-back day.
Well, you're also thinking that Shuri is probably going to lose her title, I would think.
I think Shuri's more likely to lose than Saya.
Than Saya to than Saya to
lose. I think losing to Julia is very possible. Mm-hmm. And I think losing to Mayu is never out of the question because this is Mayu. So
Shuri losing to Julia would be very upsetting, but it also would be a good idea. Because Shuri was more of the destination than journey. Well, it was more of the journey, but then she became the champion. I was like, all right, here we go.
I just want Shuri versus Mayu. That's all I wanted. That's all I ever wanted.
Yo, but if you want Utami and Shuri again, then have Utami beat Saya and then do it for the Wonder of Stardom title.
I think there is. It's so interesting with the Utami thing because, one, you don't simply beat Utami. Two, there is this, elephant in the room of Kairi, who very much is going to want that Utami match, but she also wants that Saya match. So it'll be interesting to see who she actually faces for that title because I think that's going to happen. But I'm excited. But let's finish up the rest of the show. There's one more great match to talk about. Actually.
Goddess. Oh, I hate this title. Goddesses of Stardom title match. I hate this title because it's impossible to say. Hazuki and Kagama defeat the team of Mina Shirakawa and Unagi Sayaka to retain their titles in 12 minutes. In 28 seconds.
They had this terrible spot on the card
where
the match before them absolutely was it was the best match on the card until that point.
Yeah.
By far. And then after them was the two title matches that everyone was kind of waiting for.
Yeah.
So you have this match in the middle and you're like, okay, well, I know who's winning. I can't get myself to care. I think the only thing that did get me to care was that Hazuki and Unagi just like took liberties on each other's faces with big boots. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty awesome. The match just kind of existed though.
Yes.
Overall, it's nothing bad, nothing super great. Just, it was pretty good. Pretty good. Fine. Got the job done. FWC wins. That's what matters.
Still a good match. I'm just still not into Kagama.
You're gonna get like fought by like the entire Joshi scene.
Look,
and
man,
I am not gonna defend you.
And I don't care. Roast my ass. I don't care. I just don't know what it is. I've been watching a bunch of her matches and I just don't know what it is. I just can't.
Sometimes you just don't click.
And I think that's it. I think it's just
reality.
It just she isn't clicking for me, and I need someone to explain it to me. It's like I can't figure it out because I'm obviously according to the roasters inbound, according to the streets kicking my ass. It's just I don't know. I'm missing something. And I just can't figure it out.
I mean, if you're gonna miss the boat on a wrestler on the Stardom roster, I think Koga was a fine one to miss the boat on.
Yeah, I agree.
If that makes sense.
No, I agree.
Like, there's other people that are going to be in more prominent positions that you should probably be into, so it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. I'm not gonna roast you.
I appreciate that. Who will call them out right now? I'll beat their asses.
Nope.
6-man tag team match. Donna Del Mundo versus Donna Del Mundo. Time limit draw. Julia Mariah Tekla versus Himika, Micah, and Shuri. Time limit draw, like we said. Time limit draw with the two women in the middle of the ring, Shuri and Julia, going blow for blow. hit the time limit. They both get up, and the tension at the end of this match between Julia and Shuri. I slacked it to you saying that it was great, and you said that's how you sell a pay-per-view, baby.
It's true. It is. They nailed it. It's not often that I get a slack from you before our show that's about a match specifically. That's like,
we famously don't speak to each other in between shows. We only talk.
Yeah,
to each other
we don't share thoughts about. Well, we do. We did about Cody this week. We do about like certain topics that we're not going to talk about on the show. Yeah. But this was one of the times where I got multiple messages from him about this Stardom show, and the first one was that DDM match was great.
Yeah.
And I'm here to say, yes, it was. It was awesome. You have 6 of the best going head to head. Yeah, DDM's a very unfair group. We can acknowledge this. We're just singing the praises of Natsupoi in the main event.
Have you seen the women in this match? That's their faction. That's the faction.
Plus Natsupoi. Like we don't talk about my Sakura here. So we don't talk about her. She doesn't count. But this was fantastic. Shuri and Julia sold the match. Mirai looked great. Hameka looked great. Micah looked great. Tekla looked great. Somehow they managed all of them to look great while also selling the fact that Shuri and Julia are probably going to murder each other at day 1 of Stardom World Climax. Is that a fair way to say this went? Because I think that's exactly how this went.
I completely agree. I think the murder feelings are high. I am very excited about it. Everyone did a great job in this match. Mirai, just the intensity of Mirai was felt for me. I'm a big Tekla fan, but I feel like Tekla was the least important aspect of this match.
It's true.
And which is a good thing for the match because I'm a big fan of Tekla. Himeka and Micah were great. I always love Himeka doing the power bomb, power of pain situation where she is basically power bombing Micah.
This was the match that Mirai picked up like ridiculous speed running off the ropes.
Yes, that is when I thought of intensity. That is the exact spot I thought of.
I was like, holy running off the ropes. She is flying. I was like, what? Yeah, this match was great. Julia and Shuri at the end just chucking bombs is never a bad thing. They were like, okay, we need the pinfall. You know, it wasn't shocking. It was a draw, but the draw did not take away whatsoever from this match. I thought it was actually a perfect time draw. One of the perfect time draws. So that was great. And that was pretty much the pay-per-view. I don't need to talk about the first 3 matches.
Well, I'll just say here is that like this wasn't my like highest rated match, but walking away, this was the most memorable match to me. Like when I'm like this match was like for me, if I were to rate these matches, it would probably be the high speed title, this 6-man, and then the Wonder of Stardom title match.
If you were to rate these matches, as if you don't rate matches, okay, buddy.
Okay, buddy.
We don't have to talk about the first 3 matches. No part of me cares.
Oh, I'm trying to think if I had any thoughts about any of them. Lady C, I think looked good. I thought Lady C looked very good in that tag match with Utami versus Momo and Ruako. New gear.
For
someone
Konami,
said that it was
like.
Yeah, someone said it was like almost the exact same gear as Konami when she was in Queen's Quest.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that Momo challenged Hazuki and Kogama for a tag title match with her mystery partner. So there's literally only 2 options.
Which are?
If Natsuko Tora comes back, which I still feel like might be pushing it, but it's possible. Or a little shocking, Konami is actually ready to come back, which would be really shocking. But those are the 2 options that I think are very clear.
Konami. Not Konami. Are you saying Konami? Or
Konami? Yeah, Konami and Tora are the 2.
For some reason, you said Konami, and I thought of Kagetsu.
Oh my god, you don't bring up Kagetsu, people get their hopes up. That's like when
I know, but that's legit who I thought you said. I was like, oh yeah.
I did not say Kagetsu. That'd be a little bit bigger than Konami. No offense.
No, I no offense. It's completely accurate. I mean, Kagetsu would be way bigger than Konami.
I mean, Kagetsu has like a non-existent neck, so
yeah,
it would be the big shock for me if she somehow walked through that door. But good show. I'm
trying to think if there's any other thoughts. Mayu Nakano was weird. It was fine, I guess.
Did you like Utami's hair?
Yeah.
She got a haircut?
Yeah, she got a haircut.
I think she somehow looks like a bigger star now. That's possible. Without the title makes me sad.
Future of Stardom title match was fine. Pre-show match was totally there.
Didn't even watch the pre-show match.
Totally there. I thought you were a Stardom fan, man. You're not watching the pre-show. How do you even know who the number one contender is for the future?
It's Rina and Mai Sakurai. They both won. So that was weird. I watched it and I was like, oh, well, I didn't pay enough attention. So moving on.
Very good show otherwise. Like you said, the first up until the 6-man, it was like, all right, this is pretty fine to good, and then it just kicked into high gear for the rest of the show.
Yeah, I mean, I was questioning my sanity a little bit in the early going, I'm not gonna lie.
Aren't we all? Well, let's get to our next little bit here. New Japan Cup predictions. New Japan Cup
season, maybe
it's the craziest month in sports history. The madness is upon us. It's time to open up your bracket and talk about the New Japan Cup.
Woo-hoo!
The only bracket that matters to me in March.
Yeah, too bad they got a lot of names on here that are reminiscent of a college basketball bracket, aka why? But it's fun. It's fun. I enjoy brackets of any sort. I enjoy filling out brackets. I remember a few years ago in March Madness, I found as many brackets as I possibly could.
Yeah.
Of whether it was TV shows or TV characters or logos or literally comfort foods, and I just filled them all out. And I was like, I feel like a boss. I love brackets. You're welcome. But this is good. We have an entire New Japan. I love printing them out and filling them out. So I did that today. I have fucking no clue who's actually going to win this.
Well, let's go through it and talk about it. We'll fill out our brackets here for y'all folks. 48 participants in the New Japan Cup happening pretty much all of March.
Only one surprise.
Only one. Yeah. Well, let's talk about that, right? The participants were announced. I don't think we talked about the participants last week just because I don't think it was available to us last week. Basically it is just Shima as the big surprise person, and then every single other person has been in New Japan this entire time. G.O.D. are coming back. Bad Luck Fale, I think, is in it. Probably. There's 48 people.
By the way, everybody, I don't think Jay White's ever coming back. This was the shot. There was 48 people. There was 48 slots. He ain't coming back anytime soon. We just got to give up on the Jay White to New Japan trade. I think we'll be happier for it because I have no hope he's coming back in the next couple months at least.
Yeah, it's disappointing. But let's open up that New Japan Cup. Let's talk about this bracket. 48 participants. A lot of people got buys as well. They're doing a buy thing. Some people I
don't like that.
I don't like the buys. None of the buys make sense. Why is Taiji Shimori getting a buy? Why is Master Wato getting a buy?
Why is Kosei Fujita?
Why is a Young Lion getting a buy? Why is Suzuki getting a buy?
There's a lot of bad wrestlers getting buys.
Why is God getting a buy? Why is Dick Togo getting a buy?
Well, Dick Togo, I can tell you, he has that. He has the book, bro.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Why are all these bad wrestlers getting by? Because they want the bigger stars to sell tickets to the shows. You know, if you did
That's true.
Master Wato versus El Desperado, Tenzan versus, I don't know, Taichi, that's kind of up for grabs, I guess. Togo versus, I don't know, up for also for grabs, Nagata maybe. You know, Kanamaro versus Michinoku.
Kanamaro's nice.
You know,
but that's fair.
You know,
I'm amped about Shima.
El Phantasmo versus
that.
Bushi. Well, we'll
Too
see.
bad. I wish Shima was in a different part of the bracket where I could get him to like wrestle one of the bigger stars, but it's fine. It's fine.
Well, let's talk about it. We'll go. If you're at home looking at your bracket, we're gonna go top left with the northwest quadrant. Right, the northwest quadrant, starting off top with Kazuchi Okada versus El Desperado. What would have been the anniversary show
They
match,
just said nah,
and just said nah. Let's put it in the New Japan Cup open. Not even opening match. It's the main event, I believe, of night one. But here we go.
Main event.
Who do you think will be winning this match?
Kazuchi Okada. Yeah, that's he's not losing first round for 2 years in a row.
No, it's 100% an Okada match. Should we just go right down to the next match, or do you want to talk about Okada versus Wato?
We can go down to the next match. We'll go all the way around.
Copy that. So we'll do Toriyano versus Taichi next.
Taichi, baby.
Yano, of course, king of pro wrestling, title holder. Taichi. Is Taichi the tag team champions? No, that is
no. Big run coming for Taichi.
If Taichi wins, he is able to challenge for the KOPW title.
Well, that's great.
Who do you have winning this one?
Taichi.
Tenzan would be the next matchup.
No way they're doing Yano versus Tenzan.
Then you'll do. Yeah, yeah. I'll do Taichi. I'll do Taichi. Taichi for the win. Yuji Nagata and Hiroki Goto.
I'm going Goto.
I'm also going to go with Goto.
Goto versus Tugo.
Shima versus Takamichinoku.
Shima, baby.
Yeah, well, that one's just super easy because
you want to talk about old guys getting themselves over. Yeah. There ain't no way Shima's saying yes unless you get a couple wins in this, baby.
Yeah, that one's ezy. Shima.
Also, it's Taka. So
well, yeah, that one's just easy because of the Taka situation.
Ooh, a little different match.
Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Yo.
It's a little different. I like different. Go Ace.
Yeah, it's Tanahashi. Anytime it's heavyweight versus junior. Like, here's the thing. It's all of these I feel like have been fairly straightforward, and there haven't been I
got a couple upsets.
Okay, none of these so far I feel like upsets to me.
No, not at all.
Tetsuya Naito versus Takahashi.
Yujiro Takahashi. Big history for this match. Do you know the record between these two?
In singles matches?
Yes.
No, I do not.
Yujiro Takahashi's 18-3 against Tetsuya Naito.
Holy shit.
This is the first time they're facing each other in a singles match since 2014. The former No Limit team, tag team, face off. And this is one of the times I got to it. I was like, you know what? An upset's definitely possible. And then I looked at who they were facing in the next round. I was like, I can't imagine Yujiro Takahashi versus Gato.
Sell me some tickets, baby.
Is the way they want to go. So I'm going to go with Naito, though I will not be surprised if Yujiro wins.
I'm going to go with Naito. I'm in the same boat.
Tough one for me.
I was gonna vote Yujiro as the upset here, but then I was like, Yujiro versus Gato sucks, and then one of those guys faces maybe Tanahashi.
Hopefully Tanahashi.
So I don't know about that one. but I think it's probably a Naito. I think that one's a better one.
But now I kind of think Yujiro will probably win because we both just convinced ourselves that it doesn't draw, brother.
Yeah. Togi Makabe versus Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb returning. He's back.
Jeff Cobb's gonna wreck Togi Makabe.
Yeah, I think Cobb's
absolutely destroy him.
He's got to win here. Tomoaki Hanma versus Yoshihashi.
Oh, this part sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yoshihashi, baby.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say Yoshihashi right there.
Please don't be Hanma.
Let's do the bye matchups real quick on the left side as well, since we're already here, and then we'll flip to the other side.
Yes.
Okada versus Wato.
Okada.
Yeah, Okada. Easy peasy. Okada there. I picked Taichi. I think you also picked Taichi versus Tenzan.
Yes. Taichi.
Yeah, I think Taichi as well. It's interesting because this
bracket's so interesting for Okada's side.
Well, here's the interesting thing is how many surprises, upsets do you think we'll get? I think New Japan's going to be more strategic with those upsets because you're
trying to sell tickets, brother.
They are right now trying to sell tickets. And I feel like more people, they're going to try to have as many big names on the card as possible.
Yeah, they got a lot of shining stars in this. I will give them that. Like, there's a lot of main event guys, but it takes a while for them to face off.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing.
We have, I believe we both have Goto versus Togo.
Hiroki Goto, baby.
Yeah.
He gets some good runs in the New Japan Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Why not?
I'll go Goat. I'll go the Goto. I think, could Togo win it? Maybe. I doubt it.
Maybe, but I doubt it. Out of all the juniors to get a win, because I guess he's technically, I don't know what he counts as. Is he heavyweight?
Who? Togo?
Togo. What does he count as?
I think he counts as a junior.
Okay, well, either way, if there's a junior that's going to win in the second round, it's not Dick Togo.
Yeah, I'm looking down at it, and I'm like, Shima versus Kanamaro. Here's the question. How far is Shima going?
I think he wins this one, and then it's in question. I think he beats Kanamaro for sure.
I could see...
Nothing says to me Kanamaro should win, but I would be okay with it.
I could see maybe Dick Togo beating Goto, and then having Shima beat Dick Togo. But then you're looking at probably Shima versus Okada. Which is sexy. It's very sexy, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. So Shima would have to lose to Goto. Do you think Shima's losing to Goto?
No, I think Goto probably wins.
So
I think that's where you can cut Shima off, and he'll be like, "All right, that's okay with me, brother."
To have 2 wins, then a loss to Goto. I think that makes sense.
I think that's fair.
I'll go Shima as well. You've convinced me.
Oh, I'm pretty hyped about Shima being in this.
Me too. I believe we both have Tanahashi versus Fale.
This terrifies me. I'm not going to lie to you. It does. It really scares me because Tanahashi is such a giving man. And, he's when they originally announced this bracket, he was my favorite. And then I saw someone say, well, what if they want to do that at Dominion? And I was like, oh, that's true. But what if they want to, sell tickets to Fukuoka for the Wrestling Dotaku show?
Mm-hmm.
Tanahashi, I think, has got a great chance of picking Tanahashi. Go Ace!
I'm going upset here. Bad luck Fale.
I hate it. Thanks. I hate it.
It's the New Japan Cup. Bad luck Fale always does kind of good in these spots. He's against Tanahashi, who he's beat in the past. You avoid a Naito Tanahashi match, which is, you would think would be a selling point, but I think that's maybe also a saving point that they don't always like to do. Tanahashi and Naito haven't wrestled a lot, but I don't see them doing it as a quarterfinal match in New Japan Cup.
Here's how I think about it. I think the reason Bad Luck Fale does not beat Tanahashi is because I think it's the more I sit here, I think it's very likely Yujiro beats Naito.
that might be true.
There's zero chance they do Fale versus Yujiro.
Well, let's talk about Naito versus Gato.
Well, Naito would win. I think whoever wins Yujiro versus Naito wins there.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah. We both have Jeff Cobb versus Kojima.
Ooh,
That's a pretty sexy matchup. I like that.
I like that. Cobb wins, but I like that a lot.
I agree with Cobb as well.
A little corn on the cob. Sorry.
Yoshihashi versus Fujita, the young lion, not the GHC title holder.
that would have been a nice little change up. I'm old, brother. No one loses. No one wins. Yeah, Yoshihashi.
He's gonna get destroyed against Jeff Cobb. Let's pop over to the other side before we get into the quarterfinals. I believe that would be the
juicy
quarterfinals.
First round matchup here.
Yeah, Kota Ibushi returns.
He's back, baby.
Versus Great Okan.
I think Ibushi wins. I've had a tough time.
I think Okan wins. I think he's been on there. He's been on a run of singles matches, and he's got a lot of single victories. He's won like almost all of his singles matches in the past month, practically. Ibushi's returning after being gone forever, so basically an injury. You know how New Japan does with return injuries. Yeah. I think it's Great Okan gets the upset.
I think you're probably right, but I have no idea. I can't figure out who's going to win this entire cup. Like, I have looked at this lineup, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So should be interesting.
I have ideas, but well, I guess we'll see.
I want Ibushi versus Ishimori. Okay, like just let me have it.
That's fair. Oiwa versus the Young Lion versus Zack Sabre Jr.
I don't need to answer that.
Yeah, Sabre Jr. Yoto Nakashima, the Young Lion versus Hanare.
Not gonna watch that match. Hanare.
Bushi versus Will Ospreay. Let's just cut him here and we'll move on.
Okay. Yeah.
That side that quadrant doesn't look good, does it?
I think Ospreay versus El Phantasmo might be legitimately my nightmare. Because I really don't like El Phantasmo.
Yeah.
And they're gonna try to do some weird stuff that I'm like, El Phantasmo cannot hang. Okay, yeah. He can't hang.
This quadrant, these initial matches in this quadrant kind of stink. I'll be honest.
Probably the worst, besides Ibushi and Okan.
Yeah.
But we're juicy right off the bat in this one.
Call me for now, because I'm juicy. Ishii versus Shingo Takagi.
I think Shingo wins because Ishii LOL, but yeah, I think Shingo wins.
I just forgot that we're streaming right now. I legit forgot we're doing a podcast. Just right now, I'm enjoying myself so much that I legit forgot we're doing a podcast.
You're having too good of a time.
I'm having so much fun. Ishii versus Shingo. Who's the never champion? That's Evil, right?
This is my booking. This is booking 101 for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Ishii definitely is not winning because he's a scrub. All right, Shingo's not losing.
Shingo.
Shingo's not losing.
I had to think about it. It is Ishii. I think it's just to have the sexy match, but it's
this gotta be the worst first round matchup by a mile and a half. It's not even close.
Chase Owens versus Gato.
Oh, this is terrible. Chase Owens wins, but oh my god, I am not watching this.
You're telling me Gato, and Dick
Chase
Togo
Owens
always
is gonna get so stupidly far.
Here's the thing about the buys. How did Dick Togo and Gato get the buy, but not Gato?
Makes you think.
Who's got the book? Rusuke Taguchi versus Evil.
Poor Taguchi.
It's gonna be Evil there. I think
Evil.
This should be actually really good. Hiromu Takahashi versus Sho.
Need Hiromu. I need Hiromu to win. I want Hiromu to face Minoru Suzuki in so many ways. I need it. Is Sho possibly going to win? Maybe. But I don't want that, so I want Hiromu to win. I don't think they have Hiromu lose first round. I think they kind of want him to hang a little bit with the Also, Sho just beat Yo, so I don't really think he needs to beat Hiromu here.
I'm going to go Sho.
Thanks. I hate it.
I want to go upset Sho. Is that a good idea? Maybe not.
Probably not, but who knows?
No.
I don't really know.
Do I want to do Sho? I think I could see Sho winning here. Because I think that we could start building up to Sho versus El Desperado. Even though they're on opposite sides of the bracket, I think we can start building up to that.
That's true. Yeah.
But then we got
win in the New Japan Cup.
Then we got Sho versus Suzuki, and then we have either one of them versus probably Evil.
Well, hear me out here. Hear me out here real quick.
Sure.
Hiromu, El Desperado is going to be out first round, right? So, like, if you want to build to a Sho Desperado match, you could just put them on the undercards of tags if you really wanted to.
That's true. Or you have Sho win here. So El Desperado lost first round, Hiromu lost first round, and then Sho is one of the only juniors. One of the only juniors to have won his first match.
Here's an idea, Ryan. Maybe I just don't want that. Everything about that. I'm going selfish here.
Someone in House of Torture's got to win, man.
Yeah. Evil.
This is a House of Torture.
Yujiro, probably.
This is a pro-hot podcast.
Listen. Yujiro's probably winning. But we wanted to say, okay, well, we want Naito to wrestle more than one match. That's what we're doing here. We know Yujiro's winning now that I continue to sit here and think about it.
But he's not a junior, man. He's not a junior.
I don't care if he's a junior.
Then why are you bringing up Yujiro?
You said House of Torture needs to win.
Oh, I see. And
Yujiro, baby.
If Yujiro wins, so it's like Yujiro, Evil, and Sho all win their matches. Togo, Gato, and Jado all lose.
Sorry.
Let's move on. Back up to the top. Get to those buys. Yes, I have Greto Khan. You have Ibushi versus Taiji Ishimori.
I'm going to pick Ibushi because and you're going to probably pick Okan.
I am picking Great Okan. Okay. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Doki. Ooh.
Oh, I like that. Yes, Jay, baby.
Yeah, Sabre as well. I think that should be a very good match, honestly. Doki is always surprisingly good. Everyone writes him off because of his name and his look, but he's always good.
We actually have a reasonable buy person here.
Sonata versus Hanare. The U.S. champion,
Sonata.
I agree.
I want Sonata versus Hanare for the U.S. belt.
Yes, I think you'll probably see where I'm going to go with the Chicago Riot show. We got Will Ospreay versus El Phantasmo.
Ospreay.
I'm also saying Ospreay.
Little juicy Sonata Ospreay matchup.
What do we got here? I think we both have Shingo versus Tangaloa.
Takagi,
yeah, that one's easy. I feel like there's got to be another upset here somewhere, so I just don't know where it is. But Chase Owens versus Tiger Mask.
Chase Owens.
It's got to be Chase Owens.
Thanks, I hate it.
Those juniors, is that junior stuff. Evil versus Tama Tonga. Very interesting. Very interesting match.
With the Bullet Club stuff in Impact recently, a little interesting. With Tama Tonga getting his ass kicked out, or kind of. I really don't know how that's going to work in New Japan canon, but it should be interesting. Evil, by the way.
I think there's a chance.
You never bet against Evil, man. You never bet against Evil.
Well, that's the thing. I think there's a chance, just like Yujiro, I think there's a chance Tama Tonga can win here, but I think ultimately it's Evil.
Evil, brother.
And then I have Sho versus Suzuki. Oh, man, that sounds like a good match. Hiromu versus Suzuki.
Also, good match.
Mm-hmm.
I have Hiromu winning. There's your upset for this part of the bracket. Because Suzuki's headed to the U.S., so I think if he wants to fly out there early, it's okay. Hiromu can take him out in a shock pin.
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
I think Sho would win too. Honestly, I think that's very possible.
I'm gonna go with Minoru.
I like it. Oh, Evil versus Minoru. Minoru ain't standing up for that House of Torture bullshit. That's for sure.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
I'd love that.
All right. So that's all of our first rounds plus our buys. Let's move on to, I believe, our quarterfinals, right?
Exciting.
Top left, I believe we have Okada versus Taichi.
Here's my upset, baby. Taichi beats Kazuchi Okada.
Wow.
You got to take out the world champion sooner rather than later. And I'm looking at this bracket. There's not a clear answer to keep Okada out of the semifinals. So I'm going to go a little bold here. I'm going to go with the man who sings himself to the ring. I'm going with Taichi. I think this could be a good look for Taichi. I think he's going to be that David Finlay of sorts for this year's the New Japan Cup.
I am not as gung-ho as you are. I'm going with Okada.
That's fair.
If
you want to be right, that's fair.
I believe we have Goto versus Shima, right?
Ooh, I like that.
A big G for Goto.
If Okada wins, I'd really like if Shima won, but I think Goto wins.
I could see Shima being like, I'm okay losing to Okada.
Well, I could see him being okay losing to Goto, Okada, Taichi. I don't think he cares as much as like a Noah old man. So
yeah, a GLEAT. Well, you're a GLEAT fan, so you, as a GLEAT
I am a
fan,
GLEAT fan.
So as a GLEAT
great.
fan, so you gotta you gotta pull Shima all the way through.
He's the leader of the GLEAT. I mean, if listen, if I had the book, Shima would be in the semifinals.
I just don't like Goto this in the. I don't sound like Goto in the quarterfinals.
I would love if Shima got there.
Yeah.
I would love it.
I would love it
this
too.
This bracket's so weird, right?
I'm gonna go Shima.
Like,
I'm going Shima. Yeah,
I'm gonna go Goto, but I want to go Shima, so I'm gonna live my Shima dreams through you.
I'm gonna go Shima. I think I'm gonna go Shima, and I think I have an idea here of why.
Oh, I have this wonderful dream that Tanahashi and Naito's gonna happen. There's no fucking chance that's happening.
Yeah, so I have Fale versus Naito. You have Tanahashi versus Naito.
I should have just said Yujiro. I would have felt better about my predictions. Tanahashi.
I'm gonna go with Naito. Go with Naito.
Oh, he's gonna be first rounded out.
I believe we have Cobb versus Yoshihashi.
Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, that's Jeff Cobb.
Destruction.
That's easy peasy. Over on the right side of the bracket, we have, I believe I have Great-O-Khan versus Sabre. You have Ibushi versus Sabre.
I pick Ibushi. Listen, if Ibushi gets by Great-O-Khan, I think he's gonna run it now. If he does.
You're saying coming back from injury, Ibushi wins his first.
He has a match before
matches. That. He wins 3 matches in a row.
He has a tag match before that.
All right. I gotta see who would be on the other side.
I'm probably gonna be wrong. I don't care.
I'm gonna go with Sabre.
I like it.
I'm gonna go with Sabre because
that's safe, because even if Ibushi's in there or not, you're right.
Yeah. I think Sabre is the pick because of also the next matchup. Sonata versus Ospreay.
Ospreay, baby.
Ospreay. I'm saying Ospreay as well. I think then Ospreay could then challenge for the IWGP US title at the Chicago Riot show.
Yeah, you just gotta, get Sonata there.
Yeah, which it's possible.
I didn't say it wasn't.
That's true. We have Shingo versus Chase Owens.
Shingo.
Big old
Shingo
S for
doesn't
Shingo.
win, I'm gonna throw something at the wall.
And then Evil. I have Evil versus Minoru. You have Evil versus Hiromu.
Evil.
I'll say Evil as well.
Evil.
I'm noticing that we have a lot of like the first
former New Japan Cup winner. Evil.
Yeah, that's true. We have a lot of like first round, maybe some differences, but we kind of all get to the same spot.
Yeah.
For the most part. Okay, over on the top left bracket side, we have this. This is our quarterfinal matchup here.
I got Taichi versus Goto.
You sure about that one, man?
No,
that's actually not bad. That's not bad because that's tag team guy versus tag team guy. So you can maybe argue that Taichi wins and he can challenge Goto for the belts. Is that what you have doing?
I do have Taichi winning. Yes, he was my David Finlay pick. As soon as I saw that there was no other choice to beat Okada inside the bracket, I was like, this is the way, brother.
I have a much sexier match in Okada versus Shima.
I mean, that's a lot sexier. That's my preference.
I'm going to go with Okada.
Damn it.
But we're going to knock Shima out here.
I wanted you to just have Shima run the damn gauntlet.
All the way to the moon, baby. No, we're going to knock Okada. We're going to knock Shima out here, and Okada's going to move on.
Camera grabs.
I have Naito versus Cobb, and I believe
Naito's your Naito here is like LOL, but it's possible because him versus Cobb, rematch.
Mm-hmm. Huh? I have Naito versus Cobb. I'm saying Cobb.
I got Ace versus Cobb, and I'm also going Cobb.
Very good. Very good.
But if they want to do Ace versus Okada at Dontaku and Fukuoka Stadium,
I think that's too close. I think it's too close to the last match that he done. Or no, I'm thinking. Wait, when was the last? No, that was
Naito. In the G1.
Yeah, they did in the G1. I'm forgetting everything. I don't know anything.
They could definitely do it if they wanted to.
I have Sabre versus Ospreay, and I
have Ibushi versus Ospreay.
I'm going to go with. You have Ibushi versus Ospreay. Well, do your pick because I got to think of it.
I've already gotten this far. I'm just gonna keep riding the wave here.
You gotta be kidding.
Go to Ibushi. Gotta take Ibushi. Listen, Ibushi needs that win back against Will Ospreay desperately. He looked like a chump last year when he lost the title.
That's fair.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna ruin the belts for you guys. Oh look, I lost it. That's what happened.
I'm gonna go. Ooh.
Zack Sabre Jr. run. Actually, I picked Shibata. Where the fuck's Shibata? I haven't heard from him forever.
Where? Yeah, he's not on here at all. He's not on this at all.
Oh man!
It's punishment for Wrestle Kingdom. So my thing is that
the Billy Goat's got to lose eventually, right?
Yeah. So here's my thing: is that he's got to lose eventually, right? But, are we looking at Ospreay versus Shingo, Ospreay versus Evil, Sabre versus Shingo, or Sabre versus Evil? And then the question is who. It really comes down to starting to get who is my final.
Yeah.
That's where things start getting difficult. I
can see Sabre be there.
I'm gonna go Ospreay. I have an idea. I'm gonna go Ospreay.
Well, I have no clue, so we're just riding here now.
I have
Kota Ibushi has made it way too far. He's made it way too far to lose.
That's fair. I have Shingo versus Evil. And you have, I believe you also have Shingo versus
This
Evil.
is where my plan comes into place of Shingo beating Evil and then Shingo getting a never open weight title match.
That's a good idea. I also going to have Shingo win here.
Because what else the hell is Shingo going to do? And then Shingo versus Claudio at Dominion. You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody.
All right. So my final four is Kazuchika Okada, Jeff Cobb, Will Ospreay, and Shingo Takagi. Your final four are Kota Ibushi, Shingo Takagi, Shingo Takago in Chicago. I believe Jeff Cobb, right?
Yeah.
And Taichi. Real upset.
Going off the rails on a crazy trade, as Ozzy Osbourne once said. Jeff Cobb beating Taichi, and then. I don't know. Why don't we just go all in again, Ryan? Why don't we put all the cards on the deck? All the chips in the middle. Kota Ibushi.
Insane. No way that is happening.
He is absolutely losing first round.
Bracket busted. So
He is
you have
losing first round, but we didn't put anything on the line this time around.
No, we didn't. We should have.
So I don't have to watch any shit matches. So I didn't have to care as much.
I feel very confident in my thing. So I got. I'm gonna have. So you have Cobb beating Taichi and Ibushi beating Shingo, correct? Right. That's what you said.
Yep.
And then who is your overall winner?
Jeff Cobb.
Jeff Cobb, New Japan Cup winner. Jeff Cobb.
I mean, if Ibushi gets there, if Ibushi somehow gets there, he'll probably win. Mm-hmm. But I'm going with Jeff Cobb just so I can look smart in the end.
I'm going. So I got Ospreay versus Shingo. I'm gonna go Shingo.
Yeah, I don't think either of them's winning it. So whoever wins your left side, got it.
Then I have Okada versus Cobb. I'm going Cobb.
All right, so Cobb's winning. Got it. Awesome.
No, sorry. Actually, I'm putting my money on Shingo.
You think they're just gonna run it back?
Well, here's the thing.
Congrats on being wrong.
You have Ibushi in the finals.
Which is fair. They're gonna do that match eventually. It just might not be yet.
I'm voting Shingo. This is my logic here, and maybe
you know what? Fuck it. I'm picking Kota Ibushi. I'm going all in. Nope, go back. Kota Ibushi wins.
I'm going Shingo, and my logic here up to this point is that Shingo needs to get something back. He was a world champion, and then he kind of got screwed at Wrestle Kingdom. He can get some stuff back here. Cobb still walks away with an eventual challenge for the IWGP title by beating Okada in my semifinal match here.
What's the furthest a world champions made it in the New Japan Cup?
I definitely think the semifinal. I don't know about the final.
Yeah, semifinal seems fair.
Yeah, but in this way, Cobb gets a challenge, and Shingo also gets a challenge. So we know 2 future challenges.
Well, Ryan, I have no idea what's going to happen, truthfully. Maybe someone that we had losing the first round, Yujiro Takahashi, wins the whole thing. Who knows?
Yujiro
if I got to pick,
Ibushi.
Shima would win the whole thing.
Yujiro versus Ibushi is your final.
That's not what I said. I said Jeff Cobb versus Ibushi. Man. I think Jeff Cobb's actually it's either Cobb or Tanahashi. I think that's my full belief.
Tanahashi could be interesting, but I don't necessarily think that he would.
I don't think he needs to win the cup to get a match, if that makes sense.
No.
Right?
No. At this point, it's Okada. At this point, all he has to do is ask.
I mean, literally, Okada stared Tanahashi down after he beat Naito. So
yeah, totally.
It's gonna happen. It'll happen. It'll happen.
Well, let's move on. That was the New Japan Cup. I'm very excited about the New Japan Cup. I keep talking about this, that the New Japan Cup.
I can't wait to come back next week. You know why? Because Kota Ibushi's probably going to be out. But I got so far, you just, I didn't bet anything on this. No, once I'm wrong, we'll move on and never think about it again. So
we should have bet something. Well,
if we bet something, I would have been smarter with my picks, Ryan.
Why is that my fault? Hold on.
I filled that out at 2 a.m. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I can tell. So you're
oh yeah, you have Shingo winning, buddy. That's not happening.
Yeah. New Japan Cup starts this Wednesday, March 2nd. Do you want to hear that first show card, Scotty?
What you want me? I don't have it. So
I'm looking. I got it right in front of me. Here we go. First, we got Shima versus Taka Michinoku. Hanma versus Yoshihashi.
Thanks.
Nagata versus Goto.
I'm here for it.
Makabe versus Cobb. Makabe. How many bumps do you think Makabe has?
1.
If that. I'm going to say over under 0.5. I'm going to say 0. Toriyano versus Taichi. Going all the way Taichi. Tanahashi versus Yo. Naito versus Yujiro. No limit. And Okada versus El Desperado.
It's a kind of juicy card. A lot of some interesting matchups on there. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited for the New Japan Cup.
I'm always excited.
I hope we're all wrong and Shima wins. So
Shima wins it.
If Shima doesn't win, I hope Evil wins to make everyone sad.
To the moon, baby.
When in doubt, if you're gonna be sad, make sure everyone else is even more sad with Evil way.
Empathy.
That's the Evil way, baby. That's Muto.
You gotta do the Muto. Nothing.
I hope you know what I have. Okay, WWE style here. Okada's getting ready, and then Muto's like, "I don't have a lost hip. I actually still have it." And they shining wizards him on the side and says, "El Desperado, it's you and me." And then Kaiji Muto goes all the way to the finals to face Kazuchi Okada. I'm just kidding. That's not gonna happen. Thank God.
That'd be great. No, would it? It'd be awful.
It would be awful. It would not be great.
It would be great if that was Claudio, but if it's Muto, I'll pass. So we were going to preview Impact Sacrifice, but when we talked about it, and just it actually makes more sense for us to preview AEW Revolution. We typically do that the day of the Sunday shows. We preview that Sunday show, but we are planning to do a instant reaction show following Revolution. So we just
set it on air, so now it has to happen.
That is now it has to happen.
Ryan's gonna be like,
I'm gonna be dead at work during the recording and dead at work. But we figured
I recommend naps.
Scotty figured, and it makes sense that why preview a show and then also do a review on the same show in the same day. Fair point. So we're just going to preview the show this week so that we can talk about it next week. Well, I don't know. So we didn't talk about this, but should the instant reaction show go behind the paywall?
Probably not. I mean, AEW is like, that's our content, baby. That's what people listen to us for. And I'm not going to be that guy to say, I don't know if people are going to pay for the paywall or not, but I mean, probably not.
Yeah. Ow. Just knocked my knuckle right against my desk. AEW Revolution. Here we go. Orlando, Florida. The Edition. Is that what it's called? Edition Financial Arena.
That sounds right.
How many tickets do you think we sold? This is a sold out show? What do you say, WrestleTix?
It probably will be.
What do you say, WrestleTix? Show me your information. But we have a fairly full card here. I think this is probably going to be the full card. I think AEW typically has the card pretty much situated a week in advance. Obviously there's still one more mystery afoot about what is going to be happening with the tag title match. But we will see that when it comes up. So let's preview the Revolution card. Are you ready, Scotty?
Do you know WWE now has a coffee maker? You're welcome.
AEW Revolution is happening next Sunday, March 6th out of Orlando, Florida. Let's go through our matches here now.
You know what? Before we go through it, let me ask you.
Sure.
Hype level, right now, as we wait for the pay-per-view. What are we at? Hype level.
I'm fairly hype. I'm not most hype. I'm not Mojo Rawley, but I'm Zack Ryder.
So you're a little radio.
We're like, I'm a part of the hype bros, but I'm not the hypest of the hype bros. Does that make sense?
Interesting. I guess I'll be Mojo Rawley. I'm about 9. I'm pretty hyped for this show.
Well, I'm pretty sure Mojo's at a 10. So if you want to get to Mojo Rawley.
On paper, it looks like one of their best pay-per-views to date. Because the women's title match is actually interesting. So that's a good start. And I don't know. Every match besides a certain trios match seems great. So,
well, let's start off with that certain trios match. Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Sting versus AHFO, Andrade, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy in a Tornado 6. According to Matt Hardy, the first ever Tornado 6-man tag, which I'm pretty sure I've played several of those on SmackDown versus Raw in my day.
He said in AEW history.
Well, very good. So why are you not that excited about it? I mean, it's fair because the TNT champion's in this and not defending the title. That's upsetting to me.
It's just like AEW has one match per show. I feel like that is all right. Well, we need to get these people on the card, but we don't actually have a spot for them. So here, and that really feels like this. I've seen a lot of people call it the piss break of the show. I don't know if I'll go that far because I think it can at least be entertaining. Sting's been pretty fun when he wrestles, so looking forward to that. I'm definitely picking the baby faces to win. There's a reason Isaiah Cassidy's in this match.
Great point.
In my mind.
Great point, honestly.
So I honestly would have preferred this match if Matt Hardy was Mark Quinn, truthfully.
Really? It's Matt Hardy that does it for you.
I have not been interested in Matt Hardy since he came back at WrestleMania 34. 33? 34. I don't know, but we all know where Matt Hardy's going. He's going to turn babyface. He's going to be with Jeff. So, like, right now, he's just in, like, the point where I just don't care.
Yeah.
At all. And,
that's fair.
I don't know. I think Mark Quinn could have did some crazy stuff. So.
What about this? What about instead of Isaiah Cassidy, they sub out Isaiah and put in Jeff on the day of the show?
I mean, that definitely bolsters it, but Jeff's not a heel.
So?
That's the heel team.
Yeah. Well. What about sub out Matt Hardy entirely and put in Jeff? Do you think Jeff gets involved in this match in any capacity?
No.
Does he show up at the pay-per-view at all?
Maybe. You think they got another big surprise for the pay-per-view?
I think if anything, he might show up in the ladder match. That would be the critical spot for Jeff Hardy.
Oh yeah, are they doing the surprise thing again?
I don't know. They have not announced it.
They probably will. Tony Khan lives for that.
He gets off on that shit.
Yeah, he's making another huge announcement this week.
We'll see what that is.
Probably a huge announcement to make a huge announcement to make a huge announcement to make a huge announcement. But yes.
Last time he made a huge announcement, there was his track record of huge announcements, I believe, have been Christian.
Yeah, he said it's like the greatest of all time. Christian. What the hell is Christian? Why is he not wrestling?
He's just manager, I guess. And the other huge announcement he had, I believe, was the United Center.
Yep. What was the last one? He just had one. Oh, it was Keith Lee. Remember he said I have a huge announcement, and then it was like, it's not really an announcement; it's just a wrestler.
But we're doing a lot of press about this huge announcement.
Yeah, I saw that Dave. Well, supposedly this was a tweet, so I'm not 100% sure. But supposedly Meltzer said they could have bought the Ring of Honor tape library.
Yeah.
Which would be a very weird announcement to say on the show. Tony Khan's like, I bought the library. I did it.
Does Ring of Honor still exist, though? Or what's happening?
Unless they announce a streaming service. Then that would make sense.
Ooh, they have a tape library and a streaming service?
Like, I feel like if you're announcing the Ring of Honor tape library, you're giving me a service to actually watch said tape library on. Right?
Yeah.
Like, why would you announce I got the tape library? Oh, can I see it? No.
You can look it at honorclub.com. No, it would be they would announce a streaming service, and part of that would be we have the library.
Right. Because I think they need a streaming service of some sort eventually, because I would like to rewatch pay-per-views someday. So,
yeah, they have to get to it at some point. I think faces are a win here. I think you're right in that Isaiah Cassidy will get pinned.
Oh, right. That was about this match.
Face of the Revolution ladder match. Orange Cassidy.
Beef.
Orange Cassidy, Powerhouse Hobbs, Keith Lee, Ricky Starks, Wardlow. And then we have two people that it could be. Have they announced?
They said it's going to be 7 total.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, that would be 7. So they have 2 people left. In theory, they could do a match at Dynamite and a match on Rampage. But I don't remember if they announced a match for Dynamite. So let me look into that real quick. But right off the bat, of do you think it's going to be any of these 5 guys, or do you think it's going to be
that
wins, or
I
do you
do.
think that it's going to be a surprise person?
I do. I think having the surprise always win kind of defeats the purpose of all these people always winning.
Was there a surprise last year? I know Scorpio Sky won, but he definitely was not.
Yeah, it was. It was not great. Let me look it up real quick.
I don't even remember who it could have been.
But I will say, I'm kind of upset we're not going all beef anymore.
Yeah, well, they weren't going to be able to go all beef. They put in Hobbs, they put in Wardlow, put in all beef. Keith Lee. It
was Ethan Page last year.
Oh, you're right.
What a wet fart. Right.
Who do you think is going to climb the ladder and grab the Sonic ring?
First of all, sure, they could have done all beef, but it would have been nice. Scorpio Sky won last year, by the way. Very interesting choice. I'm thinking, if we're not going surprise based, I think Ricky Starks. I think having Ricky Starks win, you got 2 Team Taz guys in there. I think it'd be kind of a crime if you didn't have either one win. I think Ricky Starks is ready for a big spot like that. And then you could have a TNT title match where you would actually believe he could actually win. So I think that'd be cool. Keith Lee, of course, is going to be a favorite. I think this is the best way to have him not win, truthfully, right now.
I agree.
Is putting him in a ladder match. Wardlow's not winning the TNT title because I don't think that's the direction, but I'd be here for it.
You're right. So to be clear, this is for a TNT title shot, right?
Yes. And I love me some Powerhouse. but I don't think he's winning. And I don't think Orange Cassidy's winning either.
I think there's a lot of people that I think. I think Hobbs could be fun as a winner.
I'd love Hobbs won.
Ricky Starks would also be fun, but then he is also FTW champion, and they tend to keep people separated like that. Keith Lee, I agree that I don't think he's going to win. Wardlow, there was at one point in time where they were saying that MJF wanted Wardlow to win this match so that he can take the challenge and challenge Page for the title, and then they retconned it to become just for the TNT. Well, not retconned it because it's always been the TNT title. I don't know why
MJF's a good guy, so.
Yeah, MJF's now a good guy. Wardlow would be nice, but I also don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think if anything for me, it's either Orange Cassidy or it's a surprise person. Or who they could have 2 surprises. They could be, this is obviously happening before 2 shows, so they could have 2 more matches. They could leave it as 2 surprises, leave it as a surprise, and then some random person. They have a match at Dynamite or Rampage this week.
Yeah,
there's options.
I think for me, it's either Ricky or one of the 2 people we don't know.
Who do you think could be? Let's just say that they're going to have.
I got to pick, it'd be Hook, but it's not going to be Hook.
So Hook would be.
Hook's probably.
Hook's not ready. I don't think. For Hook
is ready to win the world title, man.
No, he's ready for the TNT title, but I don't. But I also don't think.
Oh, to be in a ladder match.
To be in a ladder match would be a good idea.
I don't think he needs to be in a ladder match. That's the whole thing.
No.
Hook, by the way, is probably fighting QT Marshall at this pay-per-view. I've just realized.
Like the pre-show?
Either the pre-show, yeah, probably, just to get the Hook pop on there, which is fine. I'm never gonna say no to Hook.
Remember when Big Show wrestled QT Marshall like last year?
Nope, I completely have it out of my brain. Thank you.
So who do you think? So let's say there's gonna be a surprise in this match. Who do you think that could be? There's several people. There's Jeff Hardy. There's Swerve.
It's Swerve.
There's Claudio.
I would love a Swerve one and then won the whole thing.
I think
won the TNT title.
I think Swerve winning and be TNT champion's good. There's Swerve. There's Claudio. There's not really a surprise, but you could have Miro come back.
Gresham. I know he's not a ladder match guy, but I think that's an interesting name to toss into a surprise situation.
Jay White. Ooh.
Jay White in a ladder match would be so weird to me.
Yeah. Well, Tanahashi was in a fucking gruesome no DQ match recently.
That was great. He jumped off of it. That was nuts.
Jay White is an interesting name, honestly.
Yeah.
They've been.
I think it's definitely going to be Swerve, but I like the thought there.
Yeah, I think Swerve is most possible, but if it's Swerve, I think like you gotta win. If it's anybody else, it would be someone else.
Crazy take this week.
Sure.
Before Cesaro was a free agent, and I think Swerve has the most star power of any legitimate free agent right now. Long term.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, technically, I would probably say Jeff Hardy.
Well, right, no, but long term, I think he has the most like potential star power.
I think I agree. I think I can agree with that. He's very good.
And I think that might still stand with Cesaro because Cesaro's 40. So
that's true. That's true. Another reason to go back to our earlier conversation that if Cesaro was in this promotion, I can see him more as a heater than anything else.
Yeah. He's not touching the world title.
I think he's a challenger.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's easily a challenger.
I mean, Adam Cole walked in and he's a challenger. So that's different, very different. But
singles action here. Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston. What did you think about that promo last week?
On purpose. I think everything Jericho did was on purpose. I really do. He was using, insider terms. He was stumbling over his words. I think a lot of it was on purpose because he's fighting a guy who's Eddie Kingston, right? He's fighting a guy that will tear him apart for that type of stuff. And the entire point of this feud is to get Eddie Kingston a big win.
You're arguing that Chris Jericho purposely was bad to make Eddie Kingston look even better?
I think so. I think he came off worse than he probably expected, but I think a lot of it is to get Kingston over.
I can see Jericho.
And to me, it accomplished the job. I can too, because I think Jericho's aware that people aren't liking him right now. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's gotten back into phenomenal shape because people were making fun of him. So now he's in like
he's listened. He's listened, obviously.
Yeah, he has his ear on it. He gets comments all the time. So I think part of it, listen, Chris Jericho, no matter how you feel about current Chris Jericho, he's one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
He doesn't just know this stuff. He's been around. And I think the reason we're getting this match is because Chris Jericho said, 1, I want to work with Eddie Kingston. 2, I want to give Eddie Kingston that win, that first major win. And I'm cool with it because I think Eddie Kingston, listen, they have a lot of great baby faces in AEW right now. I don't know who consistently gets a bigger reaction than maybe CM Punk.
Than Chris Jericho?
No, than Eddie Kingston.
No, yeah. Oh, that return pop?
Yeah, like he is on a different level that I don't think anyone expected Eddie Kingston to be on when he debuted there. Because Eddie Kingston has never been in the major promotions. That's this whole story, right? And he is getting pops that are oftentimes bigger than any of their champions. Maybe besides like Britt when they do DMD, but like he is getting the biggest pops. And I think Jericho sees that. He's like, okay, well, let's give him a big win. And I think my whole goal, if I was AEW, was build Eddie Kingston up for a world title match against MJF.
Or both MJF and Adam Page in 2 separate matches.
I mean, I wouldn't say no, but just the idea of Eddie Kingston versus MJF with the way the fans react towards both of them, it writes money, win or lose for Eddie Kingston. It doesn't really matter.
Chris Jericho doesn't need to get the win here at all.
No. Because my biggest gripe with Jericho as of late was like when he beat MJF with that last match. Like I thought that did nothing for either of them in the end.
Yeah.
You just do this one match, Eddie wins, you move on.
Who has made more stars in this promotion, Chris Jericho or Cody Rhodes?
Probably Cody.
Okay, so
who has Jericho tried to make? I don't think the Orange Cassidy thing did well.
MJF, Orange.
I don't think he helped MJF.
I don't think he helped Orange.
I don't think he helped either one. So I think we're answering our question as we say it.
Because
Cody helped Darby.
Sammy.
Well.
A go-go didn't work.
Nope. Absolute dud. That's probably it, right?
I gotta look at all of their matches to think of this over.
Brody Lee.
Brody Lee
absolutely
Brody,
wrecked him.
yeah. It was Brody Lee was like fine up until he had that feud with Cody, and then he became like really, really great.
Yeah. So I think that seals it right there.
Do you think Cody has helped Andrade and Malachi?
I think he did help Malachi, but then they just ran it back too much. It didn't help Andrade.
I don't think he.
I don't know
helped.
where the hell Andrade is, man. Like Andrade's just there.
I think he didn't help Malachi in the sense that Malachi became the face of that rivalry, and Cody was the heel, and Cody was obviously not meant to be the heel.
That's true. That's a good point. But he definitely helped more people. I think that's what conclusion we have found here.
Who else has Jericho helped?
Well, he lost to John Moxley. John Moxley didn't need help. He feuded with
John Moxley didn't need help, but it definitely put him over. You know.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, you could have put anyone in that situation. John Moxley was going to get put over.
That's true.
He didn't help Hangman.
Nope. Isaiah Cassidy, Jungle Boy.
He did help Jungle Boy.
No,
I'll
he
give
didn't.
him that.
No, he did not.
That 10-minute thing?
Who gives a shit?
Well, I know you hate Jungle Boy, so this is different. But I guess from a I hate Jungle Boy perspective,
I don't remember. I'm looking through Chris Jericho's stuff to see who he's made. Adam Page, not really. Cody, he kind of made Cody. That
was a great match. I really liked how they did that.
That first little spot, he kind of made Cody there. Scorpio Sky.
No, get out of here with that.
No.
Every time Scorpio Sky's on my screen, I want to move on. So no.
Yeah, MJF. I don't really think so.
We've answered the question. It's Cody. You're only smoking mirrors.
Luther and Serpentico.
All right, goodbye.
All right. What else do we have on here? Singles match again. Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. Oh boy, man. This is going to be great. This is going to be great.
There's going to be blood. There's going to be blood. And there's going to be more blood. Oh, man.
Here's the thing.
I need the tag team to work. I want to just, before you go in, I want this to work in the right way. I want them to actually attempt the tag team thing after this match, because I think it's just such an interesting story for both of them. And then if they want to eventually not have it work, that's fine. But I am so drawn into this feud. I don't want it to end after one match.
I have two questions and slight concerns. And maybe that's why they did what they did.
Exactly.
Does this match cannot bleed more than the dog collar match? It
could bleed more. It depends how bad they blade each other.
Unless they did the MJF softening to have less blood in this match so they can have more blood in the Danielson-Moxley match.
It makes you think, doesn't it? Makes you think. I don't know. I mean, AEW's never been afraid of just having blood after blood. I mean, let's be serious. Big match Cody Rhodes meant blood.
Even if it wasn't a big match, he would just bleed.
That's true.
With a TNT title run, every match was like bleeding.
Yeah. Gets Ricky Starks. Bleeding. Shit.
God dang. Sunny Kiss. Jeez.
One of the best matches in AEW history is Kenny Omega versus Sunny Kiss. Don't forget that.
Kenny Omega? Oh, yes.
The first round when Kenny did the face. Never forget it. That was great. Oh, man.
Does per the story, does it matter who wins here?
I think it does. Because I think Moxley beating Danielson makes it a very different story from Danielson beating Moxley.
I would love for this to go to a draw.
I would too. 30-minute draw.
30-minute draw.
Or they just are both passed out and can't continue, which I might like even more.
Yeah, I think partly the story might want to give us a draw.
I like that. The only swerve I see in any of this match, and no, it's not Isaiah Swerve Scott.
Beat me to the joke.
I could see Danielson's faction costing Moxley. Like, I could see this be the big debut.
The faction already exists.
Yes, and
it's Dana Garcia, Lee Moriarty, Bryan Danielson, and Claudio. Which, by the way, they're gonna drop his last name 100%. He's just gonna go by Claudio.
Yeah. Who says no to that? He's like, I actually don't need you. I got this guy. Then it's Claudio. Blah blah blah. I'm just so intrigued by this match because one, it's gonna be fantastic. Like, let's just get that out of the way. Bryan Danielson has yet to miss, in my opinion. That doesn't mean every single one of his matches 4 stars or 4 stars plus, but he has, really delivered. I'm excited for this. I think we do get some sort of angle one way or the other, whether it be them agreeing to come together or that faction debuting or so forth. There's going to be a lot of blood, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one fact. Who wins? I'm going to say... I think the draw is really going to happen.
I'm feeling draw. I'm feeling the draw here. Dog collar match. CM Punk versus MJF. What did you think about the MJF promo from last Wednesday?
I thought it was tremendous. MJF, man, you want to talk about someone that's taking a 180 on MJF? That's me. That's me. Because that Jericho feud really soured me. And then the Darby match is when I was like, okay, I have to acknowledge this guy's really good. And I think the CM Punk stuff.
You had to acknowledge him.
Yeah, I had to acknowledge him. I had to acknowledge my Jewish chief.
My Jewish chief.
And I think the CM Punk feud, we've had a lot of segments and not every single one's been a home run. But overall, as a feud, I think it's absolutely been a win for both, but especially MJF. He feels like as big a star as you want him to feel. And after that promo, I was just sitting there. I'm like, man, he can convince me of anything. Is this true? It seems like it. A lot of people have been, the Wrestling Classic actually showed that comment by MJF, which is really cool. And I think the way they delivered it with Punk coming out, I'm like, is this true? And then MJF having a tear going down his face. I was like, you have me roped in. This is where the soap opera part of WWE, of pro wrestling, comes out to play. And it worked so well. And now you have no idea how this match is going to go. It could be very easily this week. MJF just absolutely wrecks Punk. He has the Pinnacle wreck Punk, and it's like, ha ha ha. It wasn't. You could do whatever you want. But I'm very intrigued. I thought the promo was great.
I think it was a fantastic promo. It was one of the best promos in AEW history. Good turning of the crowd.
They didn't know how to react. That was the best part.
Well, then they reacted positively. However, I don't know. I don't know if this is the promo we do before a dog collar match.
It's bold.
It's a bold swing. And here's the bold swing is that everyone explaining that what MJF is really doing is he's doing the thing of like he's blaming Punk for having a what's that thing called? Like a fake connection. MJF is blaming Punk for having a fake connection, thinking like, you left me, how dare you, which is like a not a good thing that people should do. I forget what that kind of relationship is called. where it's like an online relationship and only exists online. You don't have any actual relationship in person. Shit.
I forget what it's called.
I forget what it's called. But he's basically doing that thing. He's blaming CM Punk for all this thing. But CM Punk didn't actually do anything to him. And it's completely wrong. That's what he's doing. But not everyone's going to get that. And you have to explain that at some point. And I don't know. And the thing is that some people are already like, oh man, I'm loving MJF now. I feel for his story and I feel for him and I agree.
Oh, they're gonna be let down.
Yeah.
He's still a heel.
Because then you have if he doubles down as a heel, then my whole thing about it is just I'd say standing promo. I just don't know if this was the promo that we should have done right before a dog collar match. The segment worked. The CM Punk was great in it. This is supposed to be they're calling back to Valentine and Piper, a bloody mess, and right before the match, we're getting this sort of babying of MJF, even if it is essentially fake, even if it's invalid.
Yeah,
it is.
I think it's a real story. To be fair, I
completely agree. I completely agree
to it. Here's my thought. Now that you've put it out that way, maybe this is to get the most vicious MJF possible. There is a lot of stewing in him, and it's to break down the wall of Punk almost that he might feel bad for him, but two, you bring out that vicious side of MJF that we've never seen before. So that it's really just down to these two. It's not down to having a ring. It's down to, and you're going to have to work through it, I think, this week on Dynamite too, to, get to the final stage before this match. But I think more than anything, it's to bring out a side of MJF that we've never seen. MJF is still the heel, and people are going to learn that very quickly when he probably does something very heelish, because CM Punk is not going to get booed.
Well, and that's my thing, though, is that, we're currently in a position where CM Punk probably doesn't want to beat the snot out of MJF.
But I think this is the whole point. It's
true.
Making us think about it, right? It's making us think, what is going to happen? And they must have a plan. CM Punk and MJF probably created this story by themselves, and I'm just going to let it happen because they're both very...
It's a completely new story I've never seen. I've never seen a story where, right before a bloodthirsty match, to be like, wait, hold on. I don't know if I want to fight you anymore.
Yeah. It's very new, but they're very old school, right?
True.
In a lot of ways.
True.
So I'm sure it's going to work. I'm sure the match is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm really excited for the match. I don't know what we're going to do to get there, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Dog collar matches are very weird, but they're usually very good, very brutal. So
yeah. And CM Punk's already been in a brutal dog collar match previously in his career, and MJF, I'm fairly certain, can do the job. Who do
you think wins?
Does this count for the record?
Yes.
I would have assumed no. It's a dog. It's a gimmick. That's the only thing.
It's a gimmick, but it's not a lights out unsanctioned.
It is a sanctioned gimmick match.
Yes.
If it counts for the record, I think MJF. But
I think MJF should win.
Yes. I think who is
unless they're doing a third match, I think MJF should win.
I don't think they're doing a third match, and that's why they keep saying that MJF has already beaten me twice because of the restart match thing.
I just don't want them to Jericho it of you do. So I don't want them to give MJF all this momentum and then cut the legs out from under him when the feud ends.
Yeah.
So I think MJF should win. I think he will win. But
the problem is that if MJF wins, he's not going after the title, I don't think, till the next pay-per-view, probably.
Double or Nothing, which is in May. You can stretch that out. March,
maybe.
April, May. It's not that far.
Maybe. We'll see.
Thankfully, you have a lot less time between these two. as compared to Full Gear and Revolution.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And we might find way more. Thing. We might find out way more on Dynamite, which is, you're right. It's a good thing. I have no idea. I'm just like, I don't know. But I trust, but ultimately I trust them.
Yeah.
Ultimately I trust them.
CM Punk usually doesn't let me down when it comes to,
I'm not completely
I
off
could go down the MJF road here with CM Punk letting me down.
Yeah.
But when it comes to stories, they don't usually let me down.
I agree. AEW TBS title match. Jade Cargill defending the title against Ty Conti.
I had no idea this was on the pay-per-view. Jade wins.
Yeah, Jade wins. They're doing a whole Goldberg thing of Jade.
Yeah, they got the what are they saying now? They're saying did she say who's next?
She did say who's next. She said who's next? Is there anybody left? I think. Who's left?
Oh yeah. And then they were like, the big reveal? Oh, it's just Ty Conti. Which people love. People really like her, so I guess they should be happy.
I don't think this match is gonna be that very good.
No.
AEW World Tag Team Title match: Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus taking on the team of Red Dragon, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly, and some other team.
It's probably gonna be ridiculous overkill.
Probably gonna be the Young Bucks. Probably gonna be the Young Bucks.
Absolutely ridiculous overkill. By the way,
what do you mean?
Doing 2 battle royals.
I know.
Like, I watched this one and I was like, we have to do this again next week. I know it's a different form because it's the casino, but man, why? You could have just said, oh, look at the last 2 teams. Like, clearly the Young Bucks are going to win. That's the entire story. Not the titles, but they're probably going to win the battle royal. And then you have a triple threat where I'm gonna say it. I hope you take the belts off of Jurassic Express because I couldn't give a shit less about them. There was a time that they were popular.
Yeah,
they are no longer popular. We're also probably gonna get House of Black versus Trio.
Ooh, all the more reason to keep the titles on Jurassic Express. That's right. I'm the guy that doesn't think Jungle Boy's like Jungle Boy to me is Sammy Guevara to you.
Yeah, for the pillars, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure, guys. I'm not sure
about either one.
Is Jungle Boy like people talk about like how Darby's a draw, Jade's a draw? Is Jungle Boy a draw? I don't know.
You know who is a draw? I don't know about Hook because Hook's never on Dynamite.
I think he might be. I don't know.
That page is weird.
I think Jurassic Express are going to retain the titles here because I think the whole idea is that Young Bucks, Red Dragon aren't going to be involved in anything. I think House of Black would be a good trios to go into, sort of situation there. Yeah, I just don't. I think. I just don't think that they'll get along or whatever to focus on beating down Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, that they'll beat each other up and then they'll eventually lose the match. And Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus will retain to then face off against like House of Black, probably. Who was a tag team not in the tag team battle royal.
Right.
Neither was Penta and Phoenix, Penta/Pac. So I guess we'll see them this upcoming Wednesday.
Okay, so you've made me think about it. I was probably going to go with Jurassic Express, but Red Dragon did creep into my mind because I think there's definitely they're going to win the titles eventually. But yeah, I don't think you have to do it right off the bat here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Jurassic Express probably wins because those 2 teams cost each other. But should be a fun match. I mean, you're going to have a lot of good tag teams in there.
So we have a casino battle royal coming up. Who is the Joker? Do you think? Do you think it's someone on the roster, or do you think it's a surprise?
Briscoes.
Hardy Boys?
No, I don't think they'll do the Hardy Boys because
I think Briscoes is a great idea.
But if the Briscoes are in it, Briscoes and FTR could take each other out.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. They could take each other out, and that sets up the Ring of Honor show.
There we go.
I accidentally solved that. There we go. Solved it. Everyone's been complaining about like, are they still doing the match? I'm like, guys, it's not happening till Ring of Honor. It's not till April.
Yeah.
Settle down.
Yeah, they're not. That's a Ring of Honor match that they're doing. They already have said like the Briscoes are defending the titles, and I was like, yep. Against who? Say it. Just say it.
I think you're right. I think Briscoe should be the Jokers, and then they should come out, and then FTR eliminates them.
I think they should come out strictly to take out FTR.
Yeah,
not to win, just to take them out. They're like, okay, they do the like McFoley clothesline where they all go out at the same time.
Yeah,
I think that'd be great, actually.
Yeah, I think it'd just be great, and then just brawl on the outside.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Ring of Honor for while they go away, they come back with like 10 times better match graphics. I literally said, I was like, this is why they took the time off. They said, we need better match graphics.
Yeah.
Done.
Easy peasy. AEW Women's World Title match. Dr. Britt Baker DMD defending her title against Thunder Rosa.
Saw some people trying to pitch that Thunder Rosa should not win here, but wait till Double or Nothing. No. I don't need extra heat for this match. Just have Thunder Rosa win. And if you want to run it back at Double or Nothing, you can do one of the crazy unsanctioned title matches if you want, if that's like something you want to do. But Thunder Rosa needs to win.
Yeah. At this point,
I'm all DMD'd out.
Yeah, let's put Thunder Rosa in there. Let's have, because the problem, and here's the problem with Britt Baker, and it's the problem with her entire reign.
Britt Baker, like Braun Breaker.
Yeah, that's her sister. Yeah, Britt Baker is that a lot of the AEW, and I've heard this before, and this is me just repeating it a little bit. A lot of the AEW women's division has just been the Britt Baker show. And so
say Britt Baker now.
And so because she won the title, the women's division just became Britt Baker.
Yeah, I mean, for an example, for those who don't know, Hikaru Shida is doing a Tokyo Joshi Pro, their biggest show.
Oh yeah, she's doing Tokyo.
She's doing that, and she just announced yesterday or the day before she's going back to Ice Ribbon, which is her, kind of her original promotion.
Kind of surprised about that Ice Ribbon news, honestly.
Yeah, I was too.
I was like, with everything happening with Ice, I was like, really?
It's a lot of it's shocking, but I think that's a good sign of like to back up your point. Like we've gotten to the point where Hikaru Shida probably wanted to go home to Japan for a little bit, but I mean, she wasn't doing anything before that anyways. She had the deep thing.
Yeah.
But before the deep thing, it was kind of like spotty of how they did the deep thing anyways. So
plus like her entire Sheeta reign was just people be like, hey, come on. When is Breaker gonna win this? So it's just a lot of that
Breaker thing now.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's a new bit. When is Breaker gonna win this? So it's just now that we're here, and then a lot of Breaker's reign has been, when is Thunder gonna win this?
Yeah. We need to stop with the when's someone gonna win this now. And I think Thunder Rosa probably, because there's no clear choice after her.
Yeah,
and I think that's okay. I don't think you want a clear choice. You think about it. I don't know, maybe an Athena someday, or maybe that, because the AEW women's division, it's getting there. It really is, but there's still a lot of work to be done. Maybe it's Serena Deeb, perhaps. That wouldn't be bad. I don't think anyone would be upset with that either. Thunder Rosa or Serena Deeb.
Pretty good.
Now we're talking. But yeah, Thunder Rosa should definitely win.
Yes, I agree. AEW
She's also wicked over.
Yes. All the more reason to give it to her. AEW World Title match. Hangman Adam Page defends his title against Adam Cole.
Baby! Sorry.
No, you're good.
Had to do it.
What are your odds of Adam Cole winning this title?
25%. I don't think it's very high. Though there is I think the story that they're actually doing of like, one, Adam Cole wins world titles everywhere he goes, and two, they have their history of, Cole was kind of always the chosen one.
Yeah.
Between the Adams, per se. It's very. I'm definitely looking forward to the match. One, because Hangman hasn't missed a match yet. Like, he has killed it. Two, I don't know if people know this. Adam Cole's a very good professional wrestler. Very good. So it should be
people
great.
don't know that, actually.
They don't. People actually like to hate on Adam Cole too much, and I don't like it. Adam Cole, by the way, nicest guy I've ever had a conversation with in terms of like in the wrestling business. Great guy. Talked to him about why his nickname is Chugs. Never forget it. Do you know why his nickname is Chugs?
Is this a Scotty Edwards exclusive?
Yeah, because so his nickname on Up Up Down Down was Chugs, of course. For anyone that didn't know that.
What's Up Up Down Down? Does that exist anymore?
No, it's dead now. But me and my friend asked him, why is your nickname Chugs? And he goes, oh, this is a great story. You know how like when tall people are called tiny? Well, and then he proceeds to say, well, I couldn't chug anything. I can't chug water. I can't. So my friends call me Chugs. And I was like, that's amazing. So yeah, Adam Cole, great. Adam Cole's going to lose, but it should be a great match. Great main event. Another good win for Hangman Page.
Yeah, I think this is a good way. I don't know if this will be his first loss for Adam Cole, but this is a good way to like establish him. I think Adam Cole ultimately is a really good upper mid-carder in this promotion.
I think he'll be world champion.
I don't know. I just don't know about him being world champion.
I don't think he goes there without knowing he'll be a world champion. He's also still very young. That's
true. There's plenty of time to tell. Right. I just don't know if he'll be world champion anytime soon, I guess, would be my thought.
That's fair.
But after Page, if it's not MJF, I have no clue. So
I mean, if it's not MJF, then I have been reading the room completely wrong.
But that's the thing, is that like
Adam Cole's 32.
He's got plenty of time. Jesus
That's why
Christ.
I think for sure he's definitely going to get the world title eventually. Just he doesn't need to in the next year.
There's plenty of other people I think that are in front of him in line that I think are more deserving of the world title. MJF being one of them. Eddie Kingston, I love him never winning the world title. I think that's good for his character. But I also think
want him to win it so bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's great for his character to win it. But
I think him winning it and then losing in the first defense is perfect.
I agree. I also agree.
Oh man!
And then always chasing back for that. It's the same
exact story. I'm guessing they see the story they have with Eddie, which is why they're doing this Jericho stuff. Like, I hope they see it.
Yeah.
But MJF has to be the next champion. If it's not MJF, then I am very confused. After MJF, though, that's when we finally get to the point where I don't know what's next.
Yeah. I think it could be Claudia, Cody, Hager, Nakajima.
Whoa.
In that order.
You just broke my freaking brain. Nakajima, hell yeah. But
hey, he's free.
I think
he doesn't do anything.
I think Kenny Omega will be the first 2-time.
I think Adam Page should be the first 2-time. I think Adam Page needs to lose the title soon. Quite honestly.
Double or nothing. Double or nothing makes sense.
I could see him losing earlier than that, which would make sense. But then,
they do love to change the title, not on pay-per-view.
Yeah. I think it makes sense because then you could have MJF win the dog collar match and then go on and beat Page in a TV match. I think it's possible, but I don't think it's Adam Cole here. I think he should have a shorter reign. Adam Page should. I don't think it should be as long as the other three guys. So beating Cole here, I think, is a good, Danielson, Archer, Cole, those are good defenses. And then losing the title to MJF.
Yeah. Man, they really, and when you think about it, Jericho, was easy to figure out. Moxley was easy to figure out. Omega was easy to figure out. Hangman was easy to figure out. MJF was easy to figure out. Thankfully, after that, there's nothing easy anymore because they have so many names that could be world champion. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday. This is to go off. The show's pretty much done. But I was talking to someone and we were talking about Keith Lee, and I was saying I just don't see him ever being world champion. It's not possible, really. They just have too many. They have too many names that need to be world champion.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I don't think Keith Lee fits into that. But I think that's fine. I think he can be a TNT champion. I think that's perfectly good spot for him. He could be a challenger, right? He can be a challenger. You can do Keith Lee versus I don't know. MJF. I don't care. You can do that easily. And because people love Keith Lee and whatnot, but I just don't see him. And Wardlow's gonna Wardlow could beat MJF. That's really possible. I think Wardlow or Eddie Kingston's the way to go. But Wardlow is going to be world champion. Yes. Like that, you know that for sure. But there are so many names. Like CM Punk's never touching it.
No.
Danielson will make me think about it. I think depends how long he stays.
I think Eddie Kingston could, but I also would be totally fine if he never did.
Yeah, just give me the big match.
Yeah.
With and then go either way, and I think it will work. How do you hold Moxley from not winning the title again? Like, this is the whole thing. They have so many people, and you want to have multiple time champions. You don't want to have like, all right, one person. Like, it would just be weird.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how companies work.
Yeah. It's a whole. I'm very intrigued to see how the next like 5 years of AEW works.
A Kenny Omega babyface title reign is very possible. I mean, Kenny probably doesn't need the title ever again, but what else do you do with it?
Yeah, there's just a lot happening, and
they have so many people.
Yeah, they have way too many. They have way too many, honestly.
And then you have like Darby,
and you're picking, and you got Darby. Yeah, you got Darby in there. You got freaking Brian Cage is still in there.
Okay, well, that's not happening. I mean, they're gonna probably want to give it to Jungle Boy eventually. Not for a while, hopefully.
I'll pass, actually.
But they have. I mean, Malachi Black's a contender, right?
Yeah, but I don't think he's a champion. I think he's certainly a contender.
But this is my point. We're naming all these people. Like, there's a lot of people that aren't going to be champion, but there's a lot of people that need to be champion too. So, man, AEW, you got too many good things going on at once.
Spoiled riches. Is that the phrase? I don't know. That is Ring Post Radio. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this week's episode. Of course, we greatly appreciate if you subscribe.
You got Hook? Sorry. I just wanted to bring up Hook.
You can subscribe to Ring Post Radio wherever you get podcasts. If you leave a 5-star review, we greatly appreciate it.
I'm hooked.
He's hooked. He's gleated and he's hooked. We'll be back next week for a bunch of stuff. So stay tuned. Definitely make sure you want to subscribe for that. Definitely want to make sure to subscribe because I don't know if anyone else be staying awake to see
next week's morning show is going to be shorter.
Yeah, probably. Hopefully, maybe we'll know.
There's as long as WWE doesn't do something stupid, it should be shorter.
Yeah. Scotty,
no guarantees.
Scotty, anything to plug, and what is your match of the week?
Anything to plug? You follow me at Scotty Wrestling. Yeah, man, you really messed up my match of the week. So now that we don't talk about matches that happened or that we talked about on here. Oh, I think it's time for some GLEAT. It is time for some GLEAT. We watched the G-Rex tournament finals. It's really good. El Lindaman versus Hayato Tamura. That's my match of the week.
I've seen a lot of praise about that match.
It was really good. El Lindaman's a small dude, by the way, but he's jacked out of his mind. So I definitely recommend that match. And yeah, you can follow me where I said you could follow me.
Yeah. And check out Pot of Stardom coming soon.
Yes, of course. Coming soon to a podcast something near you.
Sure. Service?
I was going to say service, but I don't think it's a service.
I have no idea. Platform. There it is. You can follow me on Twitter at Ryan Knightsey. You can follow all the shows I do. It's basically this show at Happy Hour. I was a guest on How to Talk to Your Friend About Wrestling last week. Very good show. Very, very good show.
You didn't respond to my tweet.
What was your tweet? Oh, yeah. I did not respond to your tweet about the match race.
Yeah, because you had all the nice charts up on the thing, and I said, "Where's the match race chart, Ryan?"
That's true. That is true. I have more charts for that, but it was a very good episode. So go check that out. Great podcast from those two ladies on the Countout Network. My match of the week is from Terminus 2, baby. We didn't talk about them at all, and I don't think we're going to ever again. But my match of the week is the Terminal Eliminator match. Chris Sabin, Kenny Alfonso, Leon Ruff, and Trey Lamar. Best match on the entire show. Saw it live. Really good. Leon Ruff was fantastic.
Wasn't that the first match?
Yes, it was the first match on the show. Chris Sabin, obviously solid. Trey Lamar, very good. Kenny Alfonso, never heard of him before, but a huge standout for me. And Leon Ruff, just by God, Leon Ruff was great. He was like the Freddie Mercury of the match. Everything he said, everything he did, he had the crowd in the palm of his hand. Very good match. Highly recommend it.
That's very Impact of them to peak at the first match.
Yeah, well, Chris Sabin was in the match, so that explains it. Well, to be clear about the whole thing about the main event, the match is very good. Scotty, I was about to give it 4 stars. And then the last 10 seconds happened, and I went down to 2 3/4. I was like, boom!
God,
it dropped.
Oh my God,
it dropped hard.
You went from probably 3 3/4 to 2 3/4.
It dropped a whole star practically
in 10 seconds. In 10 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan said no.
But if you want to hear my full review about Terminus, I wrote an article. It's up on countoutpod.com. I wrote an article about it. I described Terminus 2 as a home run where you tripped right before you hit home plate.
That's not a home run.
Yeah. So ultimately, not a home run.
Well, actually, I guess it is if they ended up touching home plate.
So no, they get out. They tripped it out. But
so it was an inside the park home run, but they tripped and they ended up, okay.
But you can hear all my thoughts about the show on countoutpod.com.
You can't hear them. You can read them.
You can read them.
I'm so sorry. Please don't yell at me.
No, read it. Go check it out. A lot of good articles on countoutpod.com. That is it for this week's episode of Ring Post Radio. We'll be back next week for a bunch of content, so make sure you subscribe. We'll see you next week. Right? Goodbye.